Evan, did you tell the AI to make it look like that, or did you like tell it, like, hey, make this motherfucker look like Anthony, or did you? Or
I
was it
took
like
the original snippet of Howell looking at Gray Matter, and the chat already knew that we were going with Goop as part of the lineup. And I also put in a pic. Yeah, well, John will probably forget about it tomorrow.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't think John's here right now.
See?
Let's see
Oh, okay.
how
Well,
it
all right,
looks.
Evan, you got lucky.
And while doing so, I also got a picture of Ant's face, and it's a model Howell after Ant. And it gave us this image, and for some reason, the G-word alien looked a bit like Flubber.
Yeah.
You guys know that Robin Williams movie,
Yeah.
right?
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another KinoFlex live stream, joined by, of course, the backseater and his little backseat boys. How are you guys?
Little? The fuck do you mean little, Kino?
I didn't say you were little. I said your little backseat boys.
Well, still, man, what the fuck does that mean? Why would you, Kino, you do realize, like, what, you do realize there's a fucking stigma around the term little boys. Come on.
Man, we just started off real.
Yeah, thanks,
Really
Kino.
Let's just say that little as in little subs, smaller subs.
Yeah,
than me.
there we go.
Let's just go with that, I guess.
Oh, guys, Kino, Evan, I'm getting everyone's name mixed up now. Ant just uploaded another piece of shit video. Is Tom Holland's Spider-Man a disaster or a perfect 7 film arc? It's a fucking disaster, you idiot. Always has been.
We have a separate Anthony Gramuglia video to get into.
Gramuglia.
But I did not enjoy the latest Spider-Man film at all. I would actually go so far as say that it's as bad as The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in terms of its story. It's very lazily and shoddily conceived.
Is it as bad as Far From Home?
Far From Home does things better, but I also don't like that movie very much upon rewatching.
It's one of those movies that people con themselves into saying is good when they struggle to admit that it's garbage.
Yeah.
Compared to the slop that Marvel.
They need to go through the 5 stages of grief before they can realize it's shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
But in this video from Ant, it's actually a pretty now infamous one. He's been getting made fun of a lot for it.
Oh, really? This one?
Yeah, he's getting called very hypocritical over it because of
Andy Pants is in the chat.
Racism.
Read the description first.
He tried to get. I see he tried to give Andy Pants the pin of shame, and Andy probably don't care. But anyways, yeah, let's read the. Oh my god, these chapters. If there's a black Ariel or a black Helen of Troy, why can't there be a white Black Panther? Well, for a number of reasons. If you took too long to find an answer to that question, you don't understand the problems associated with whitewashing in the industry.
Okay. I have a question.
Pop off, Angel.
Do these motherfuckers not know that literal white Africans exist, and I think South Africa, so it is possible for that to happen. But even still, even if it does happen, you fuckers will have a problem with it because it's not a black man playing Black Panther. But heavens forbid we call out race swapping for being lazy slop. Then we're the problem.
I guess at this point I should give my thoughts on race swapping in general. No pun intended, of course, but I don't think race swapping is a black and white issue.
I see what you did there.
But
he's also Hispanic.
Because there are instances where race swaps can be acceptable to me. though the race swaps most often tend to be glup shittos or obscure characters where you're allowed to take creative
I was about
liberties.
to say, Kino, that's the thing, because they always do this with the super obscure characters, because those characters don't have the fucking, like, a large ass fan base like Batman or Spider-Man, or in this case Black Panther, because they're so obscure, hardly anyone knows about them. And if there is someone who knows about them and complains about them, oh, you can just brush them off as like, oh, they're just angry comic book nerds that no one really cares about.
It's also like the
Eternals.
triviality works well with smaller characters, because you're just like, oh, it's just this person. Who really cares what race they are? It's like, well, the appeal of triviality,
and then
as
they
always,
also
it goes both ways.
And they also put them in like roles when they're in timelines where, you know, they wouldn't be like accepted as well. So
they also
will. I also accept Elseworld stories, like just like alternate versions of the character where it's explicitly not the same character. Like this also applies to like some history, like historical fiction, right? They're not trying to replicate history, but they're playing around with it to like as a what if scenario, like George Washington or any of the founding fathers being black. I could get into a story like that.
Hamilton,
depending on how it's executed.
Yeah, essentially.
Because Hamilton ain't trying to be historically accurate. Yeah,
it's literally a theater adaptation. I mean, stuff like that is pretty much well known.
Yeah, so long as it isn't like presenting itself as actual history or as a biopic, then you get dog shit like that Black Cleopatra Netflix documentary.
I was literally about to quote what that lady said in the trailer. I don't care what they tell you in school. Cleopatra was black.
Her grandmother told her that.
My
grandmother has
crazy
more authority
grandma.
than history professors.
Oh, was she there?
Yeah.
Apparently, she's the world's oldest grandma. And yes, Dinosaurus, I did hear about that Discord drama. Kino's talked endlessly about it.
Yeah.
Kino, that leads me to ask, what was your first reaction when you first heard about all that?
My reaction to it was that Bird Brain is an idiot. He should have just taken the L, but he, for some reason, is like
taking himself deeper.
Well, then, like there is a reason. He's just a huge narcissist, but he just doesn't take any loss. He refuses to like admit that he's wrong about anything, even if it makes him look bad. The more he doubles down. So yeah, he's just being an idiot. But back to race swaps. My major problem with them is when I see a race swap of a popular or well-known character people actually care about. Because it's often a downgrade. I'm not saying that a cast that's completely accurate to the source material is going to be inherently good necessarily, but when diversity is the priority in a story where that's neither necessary or the focus, then that to me is a sign that the people behind the production probably don't have their hearts in the right place.
Yeah.
I think it's just avoid it whenever possible, because very often it is done for like culture war kind of reasons, and it gets like, and it's very often just like trying to be like, oh, you'll often hear them say like, oh, it's important for, you know, this ginger to see themselves in this character, so we changed him to a redhead. It's like,
it's funny.
That's never gonna happen.
It's funny that the people who are in favor would say we're living in the most like diverse world imaginable, and like, okay, but you're telling me you can't find a white bitch to play Helen of Troy? Then are you kidding me?
Or any Greek actors to play leading roles? That to me is like really unbelievable.
Yeah.
So,
I literally saw on Threads. You guys remember that site, Threads? That was like a thing.
The site that keeps banning me because I'm too much to handle for them. Yeah.
Every time I open it, I see like actors of Greek descent living in Greece or elsewhere complaining about, oh, so this is okay, but when we complain about it, you guys shut us off. Like, what's going on here? And there's literally replies from people saying, oh, don't be such a racist.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're literally not even, like, saying anything controversial. They're literally just asking, why don't you talk to any Greek actors to play roles in a Greek story?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
also that.
Well,
No, go
another
ahead,
thing.
Kino.
Yeah, another thing to keep in mind is that these were the exact criticisms of movies like. Oh boy.
Anyways.
Let me know if it keeps on happening.
Alright, well, Dinosaur says race swapping is also racist in and of itself because you're saying that the only way people of color can be represented is by eating off the scraps of well-established white characters. Yeah, we were pretty much over that.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Snow White.
Wrong film, actually. But anyways. And this part right here by Anne here gets me. Whitewashing is so much worse than blackwashing. They're pretty much the same.
So again, like race swapping is like a spectrum, right? There could be bad whitewashing, but there's also bad blackwashing.
Yeah.
But other times, like I don't really care about whitewashing or blackwashing if the character isn't is an obscure shitter, for lack of a better term. Okay. Oh wait. Oh my God. Actual fandom is.
Yeah, I noticed this. He got his power. Yeah, all the members of Ant's power stable are in this right here.
Yeah, but
because ever since Ant became the centerpiece of the motherfucking failing, like, what is it? The fuck, I forget what it's called. The mother, like, I forget what the actual fandom stable. He pretty much became the centerpiece, and now Dane here is the goddamn hanger-on. I digress.
Okay. Yeah, let's just get into it because I think I can only be here at like around like 3 hours max. Unfortunately.
All right, well, here we go.
So we're gonna make this a quick one.
All right, yeah, we got to.
It appears that Helen of Troy in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is going to be played by Lupita Nyong'o, and a lot of people.
Oh yeah, by the way, he made this video before the last one we watched. Kino, I don't think you were here for it, but we watched another Odyssey video made by Ant. It was terrible.
So this one is pre-release.
This one is before the movie came out. Yeah. Anyways.
Are mad about it. I mean, what do you expect? It's the internet.
We're told that we
Oh, get it? The internet's never pleased. Oh, anyways.
Shouldn't object to Helen of Troy being the greatest black woman, and yet if a major Hollywood studio made a film set in Africa and cast a white woman as the most beautiful woman in Africa, those same people would literally riot in the streets. If, say, Sydney Sweeney was cast in the role, they would be driven to murderous violence. We all know this is the case.
Now, this, of course, is not the first time that a black actress has played Helen of Troy. You see, Eartha Kitt played Helen back in 1950. Yeah, over 70 years ago.
How many people actually give a shit about that film, Ant?
Absolutely no one.
Why? Yes. Yeah. Why does her casting overshadow, the consensus that Helen of Troy is Greek and white passing?
Yeah.
Isn't Eartha Kitt like half Native American?
I don't know, but anyways, yeah. The point is, Ant. No one fucking talks about that film because we're not fucking old. We're not boomers, so I don't know. I know what fucking card he's playing here. He's playing the card of, well, this happened in a previous film, and you didn't complain then.
Yeah, because they don't give a fuck.
You weren't alive. Because you weren't alive. So that means you have to be fine with them doing it this time, basically.
Yeah, so it's just essentially whataboutism from Ant, where they didn't say that they were against that example, so they suddenly can't be against this other example, this more modern example. It's bullshit.
Right. Ant got caught in 4K saying some creepy stuff last week. I heard about that. I have no idea what he got caught saying. What did he get caught saying? I need to know. I need to know because I'm going to make a victory lap over this. What did he say?
Yes, according to Eartha Kitt's biography, her mother is Cherokee and African descent, although there is no record on who her father is because it is possible she was conceived on some plantation.
But does Eartha Kitt's biography say what Ant said?
Just to very briefly get around it, because I want to make sure we cover the entire video in full. He's defending an infamous hentai that depicts rape. Though to be fair, he's not defending the rape. He's defending like the artistic value in it. So make of that what you will.
That's still a crazy thing to defend.
But let's see what he has to say about race swaps. Like, I think this is more disturbing, what he has to say about race swaps.
Yeah. Do midichlorians float? Well, they are in your bloodstream, so you could say that. Ant said that there's needs to be more anime with messed up scenes in it, like Metamorphosis. Okay, then.
Oh my God.
In Orson Welles' stage production of Time Runs, an adaptation of the Dr. Faustus storyline. This play helped launch Kit's career, and from there she went on to play Catwoman, being the first black woman to play Catwoman.
Okay, wait. So it's a play. Okay. So that's an important bit of context because plays always play around with the races. One of you guys mentioned Hamilton. Nobody cares because that's what plays do. You can fluctuate the roles, but when you're doing like a serious, like large scale production where immersion is key, not necessarily musical performance, that is where you'll get these different standards.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And also you're like casting kind of locally with plays a lot of times, and it's who has time and everything. So you're a little bit more limited in who you can cast. You don't have the whole world in a Hollywood production and everything. And
okay, so I'm reading over the plot of Metamorphosis, and oh my God, Ant's defending this?
Yeah. You should read it. It's a pretty good
The cover on the Wikipedia page isn't even censored. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was literally the first thing that I said. I was like, oh my God, the first moment I looked at the cover, like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm morbidly curious now, but at the same time,
let's not get off topic. Let's not get off topic.
Yeah, and going back to the fucking Catwoman example, no one. Okay, again, it's just a product of its time. No one really wants black people playing Catwoman anymore. Okay, again, and like I said earlier, we're living in the most diverse world today, and you're really telling me you can't find a fucking hot ass black haired bitch to play Selena Kyle? Come on. Anyways, actually is still triggered at me. I don't know why. I didn't do a damn thing to him. Anyways, I saw some of the video that got Ant in trouble. Chris Hansen needs to visit Ant. Yes. Anyways, let's keep going here.
She turned Cusco into a llama.
A cat is a cat. She has no race, creed, or color. The way I feel about myself as an entertainer. I have no race, creed, or color. I belong to everyone.
But yeah, no.
Cool, you still don't look like Selena Kyle, but anyway.
No one seems to remember that, do they?
I'm very supportive of Chris's intention with it and with the version of the story that he is telling. Our cast is representative of the world. I'm not spending my time thinking of the defense. The criticism will exist whether I engage with it or not.
In response
to surprise, the person who is casted for the role supports being casted for the role. Shocker. But the problem is that ancient Greece is not the world. It's a very specific part of the world. And if you're going to cast people in this setting, it needs to reflect the setting. Or otherwise, you're going to question why certain people are there when they have no business being there. It's the same thing as Moana and Encanto. Like, children's movies understand this, and I think we can have like this standard towards the Odyssey, one of the most culturally, like one of the most artistically important stories in the world in human history.
Yeah. And also, Kino, they all that's another thing. It's like, we need to have all the fucking cast members in Moana, both animated and live action. They all need to be fucking Polynesian. But this movie's set in Greece, nah, they can look like downtown LA.
That's not even getting into Wakanda, as I'm sure he's going to get into. Like, based on logic sense and of geography and people who live in certain parts of the world, everyone in Wakanda has to be black. Like, that's just obvious. So if you see a bunch of if it's super diverse, that doesn't make sense, and it begs questions that shouldn't be asked.
Yeah, you're telling me the super isolationist country that like the entire world
Who
didn't know
is
exist until like a
all
few
that
years
ruckus?
ago? Like, sorry, what, Kino?
I heard
Someone's
somebody
making ruckus.
putting some ice somewhere or something. It sounded like.
Not me.
Anyways,
Mute up, mute up.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, this super isolated country in the middle of fuck off Africa that the world didn't even know exists until a few years ago has some white people in it. Yeah, okay, anyways. Why didn't the Jedi take a bus for Void Order 66? There was no bus. I think Ant has a fetish for black men fucking his wife, indeed.
oh my God.
Holy shit.
Look at, I know, I have a short on my channel proving it.
Oh my god.
Look, yeah,
It's a serious
hang on.
accusation.
Hang on, I'll show it really quick.
No,
I don't want to get.
No.
Okay, all right, I won't show it. Look at pics of Eartha Kitt, the 66 Batman series. You can see why people had no problems with her playing a Greek beauty. Meow, indeed.
Ooh.
But anyways, let's keep going here.
Odyssey casting. A lot of commentators have said, well, if you're fine with a black Helen of Troy, what about a white Black Panther?
I'm just gonna say right now, I don't think anyone seriously advocates for this.
race-bait.
This
It's
is yeah,
just
this
literally
is a
just a
joke.
meme.
This is a meme, and it's more or less a way to point out a double standard.
I
Like,
actually remember, here's an interesting story that happened with that particular photo. So someone took that photo and put the what if logo on the bottom right corner, and people were so furious over this concept that some commenters even said, whoever came up with this needs jail time.
Yeah, but if we were to take this premise seriously, even though, to be clear, I like T'Challa being black. I want him to stay black. If you were to take this premise seriously and reinvent the character in like an ultimate sense by having like a Khazar, like the vibranium land on the Savage Land, and Khazar becomes like the Black Panther. It wouldn't capture the same vibe or the same appeal of the character, because it's essentially a different character at that point, which is the point people are making. If you're going to change, like, appearance is not just simple window dressing or something that's just interchangeable. It's something that's a part of the character, as well as the cultural heritage that their appearance is part of.
And it always boils down to, people try to just make it like, oh, it's always about race. It's like, no, this even goes down to the hair color of characters a lot of times.
Yeah, and
like Wonder Woman is never, one time she was cast as a blonde and everybody appropriately shit on it. They're like, what are you doing? It was like in the 70s.
Yeah, Callisto brings up a good point. Black Panther is a mantle. You can theoretically be white and beat T'Challa. What is that sound? Okay, someone needs to mute up.
Evan, stop abusing your keyboard.
Sorry, I'm typing out something.
All right,
You can mute when you're doing it.
But yeah, Callisto brings up a good point. This is a mantle, like every other superhero title. But the problem is that you don't really care about some random like some random guy having the title. You care about the actual person wearing the costume. That's the thing a lot of people need to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters that shouldn't be interchanged as much as they probably are.
Yeah. When you join the light side, does the light side stay on? No. Anyway.
Wait, T'Challa.
So, this is what I was saying earlier, is that I don't know if this is true, but apparently there might be a white Black Panther. I don't know if this is happening or not. Only in the comics there is. Dude, if they actually...
Well, I don't read like too much modern comics anymore because they're shit, but besides the White Tiger, which is T'Challa's biracial brother, half brother, I guess. There's also a more just a unambiguously blonde haired kid who beat out T'Challa. He got the title, but I think that's just to prove a point that there was that there can be a white Black Panther, but it wouldn't have the same appeal as the actual character. I think that was the intention.
Yeah, it's a bit like John Walker's Captain America, of course. But yeah, also and even then, there's no way in hell they'd let that. Also, hi Alex. There's no way in hell they'd let that stick as like a major status quo shift at all. Anyways. Ant is the kind of person to say that if you're mad that there's no Greeks in the Odyssey, you should also be mad that Superman movies have no Kryptonians.
This is an actual argument you hear from people. Why weren't any Fremens cast in Dune? Just retarded bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to clear that up, ancient Greece is a real place, and Greek people exist. If you want to have like an alternate version of the Odyssey where it's not set in Greece, that's perfectly fine. Like, if you wanted to have it set in space, have like a bunch of space aliens play like the Cyclops, like giants, like I would have no problem with that, and I wouldn't question there being the races of the characters being different. Like
like oh brother, where art thou? Like you said last time,
in the South. Like that's an adaptation that takes place in the South. But when you're going to depict ancient Greece and have it like be unrealistically diverse, that's a problem.
LA, if Carrot Head Mundy's good for your eyes, can he dial a phone? I'm sure he can.
Do we do the meme? I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Ryan Gosling will be the new MCU? I guess so.
This is actually old. This isn't new. I think this picture got posted around the time that the movie came out.
I think that's the tweet.
So it's been around for a while.
This is a common response to a lot of race bending media, and it often does get a response of someone going, "Oh, well, that's totally different," but people don't really explain why it's totally different, even though it obviously is. It seems inevitable that whenever there is,
it really isn't, though, Ant. You're just a complete hypocrite because you worship. You have this weird, I would like say it borders on fetish towards black people, where you must worship them whenever, at every opportunity.
He definitely got white guilt, and he wants everybody else to have it too.
I have proven Ant has white guilt. Why are you triggered? We do have space Greeks. They're called the Iron Warriors. Good one, Vehicle. That's a good one. Most comics shouldn't be taken very seriously, and Chris Chan Bobby on Asmongold's Twitter. Okay, Eggplant. Anyway.
Changing the character's race, there is backlash, especially if it's a formerly white character being recast.
From the team that brought you Why is Snow White Latina? Why are there black people in the Rings of Power? And Star Wars has gone woke comes the latest online onslaught against an anticipated Hollywood project that committed the unfathomable sin of having a diverse cast.
Black Ariel, mixed race Snow White. Immediately memes go up saying, if we made them more...
Oh my god, bro. Like, is he really defending the casting for Snow? Like Cole Brown?
Because even though Ant claims he hates Disney and big corporation companies, he must defend them still.
You know, it'd be one thing if one of these castings turned out to be like, oh my gosh, they were so amazing in the role. Nobody else could have played that. But then these movies always, they like turn out horribly or at the best, like mediocre performances. And then it's just like, wow, you really couldn't have found another person to do that.
The only praises I ever hear for either of those ladies in that role is that, like, well, they're good singers. It's like low fucking bar praise right there.
Right. Anyway. So is Susan Boyle, and I wouldn't have liked her being cast, even though she's white. I wouldn't have liked her being cast as either of those characters.
Yeah. How come Luke and Leia are called Skywalkers and we only see them walk on the ground? It's more of a symbolic name. I meant that Asmongold clip. Oh, okay. Well, anyways.
Luther King movie with Ryan Gosling as MLK.
Yo, man. Who keep coming up with these things?
Well, they're mean.
Thus, we see a battle.
See, even he thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Whitewashing and blackwashing, as it's been dubbed in some circles. It even gets extreme enough where fan artists who just draw, say, Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service, a black girl, they get doxxed and threatened and ridiculous.
Okay, so obviously, So evidence, please.
Yeah, so obviously, if they are getting doxxed and harassed, like, we don't approve of that over here on the KinoFlex channel, obviously.
We do on mine, though.
But like, there is something to be said of like talentless losers just tracing over art and making the characters black. Like that is just like very creepy, just very bizarre behavior when you could be just making your own characters.
Yeah, Kino, this is a real story recently. So I have an Instagram account. I don't post much of anything on there, but I do have
one not that long ago.
I have one post on there. So this motherfucker made a piece of fan art for some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing he's making, where instead of them being mutant turtles, they're normal humans, which kind of defeats the point of it being a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle story in the first place, but whatever. So he makes this character, so he draws April, and April is black, like how most people make her nowadays. And so April's black, but the funny thing is he made a whole new different character who looks more like April than his version of April does. So I take a snapshot of his picture of April, I feed it to like an AI machine, I feed it to ChatGPT, and I make this woman a white redhead. I post it to my Instagram account, and I say, this guy did April O'Neil dirty, so I fixed it for her. And that's the one Instagram post I have. I got a ton of heat, and I was really proud of it, and I still get heat over it. But yeah, by and large, yeah, like what Kino said, if you're just gonna do that shit, just make it a new goddamn character. Like, I literally told the guy, dude, you should have had April be the white bitch and your original character be the black bitch. But he didn't do that, and he blocked me.
Also, it should be noted that the reverse is also true for situations like this, where you have artists who are not black creating black characters, or drawing their characters with features or like styles that are associated with being black, and they get doxxed and harassed. Like, there was like this one girl who had like a black hairstyle for her Animal Crossing character. She got harassed pretty viciously.
Oh yeah, the Minnie Mouse buns, yeah.
Yeah, and this is like, that's totally unacceptable. But this is just like, that applies to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Whenever you bring it up, only in one instance, I feel like you should always just make that a general statement.
Yeah.
Be like, don't harass people over fan art or over anything. Whenever you try and more specify it, you're trying to imply that it happens more one way than the other, or that like the entire argument for this side is now tainted because, you're basically trying to shut down any sort of argument against this thing by just saying, oh well, there were a few of these crazy people, so now you can't argue against this. It's like, no, I'm just gonna say that they're stupid and then continue arguing against it.
Yeah. Didn't Common Sense Soapbox make fun of people like Ant in his videos?
It's not for you. Why did wait? Why did this flop? Why did you watch it?
Yeah, like great video from Freedom Tubes.
Actually, he's having a meltdown. Ant is why we say the left can't meme. Yeah. There's a TMNT story where the turtles use tech to disguise themselves as humans. Yeah, Zio, I know that, but like, no, in this bizarre fan art, the Ninja Turtles weren't mutants, nor were they turtles. They were just normal guys.
Yeah, see, and like the turtles are an example of characters I would say you can play around with the races a bit. Like they don't have they're turtles. They don't have a defined
like, at least
race.
In terms of voice acting talent, you mean, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should be humans. And if they do, like, they can play around with the races.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling is MLK joke, because that's something the Boondocks will make fun of. Yeah. FYI, Jerry Pete and his wife have black OCs that are racist fuck. Yeah, they made a Star Wars story and it's fucking ridiculous. I've been meaning to make a video on that with y'all, but that's for another day.
Yeah.
And we have another art fixing controversy, I guess.
Debacle.
We're going to talk about some Dan to Dan fan art that has been color corrected by a young artist, and this artist got ratioed actually by a Japanese person who said, "Why do we have to make all of the Asian characters black?" And,
yeah, they blackwashed Akaroon.
This is despite multiple mods being created for various video games to turn
Okay, hang on.
black characters white.
All right, well, this is a mod. It's optional. You don't have to download it. Like, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows Nessa here is canonically black. I mean, it's just a mod.
There's
If his argument is that, well, this also exists and nobody talks about it, well, that's wrong. People do complain about these mods. So I don't know what Ant's probably saying. I don't know what points he's making.
This is just whataboutism, because he assumes that the people complaining about blackwashing, like anime characters, won't like complain about whitewashing too for characters who don't need to be whitewashed. Yeah, I don't mind Nessa being black. In fact, I prefer her being black. If you catch my drift. But
I didn't know that was. I didn't know you liked it. I didn't know you liked chocolate, Kino.
Kino, are you dipping in the chocolate?
Yeah, but yeah, like Ant's argument falls apart once someone who doesn't fit his straw man comes along and says, "Yeah, that's wrong too."
And I'm willing to bet if we searched hard enough, we'll find a motherfucking mod that turns the grass guy, Milo from this game, that makes him black. I'm sure if we looked hard enough.
I was going to point out, like, mods are very much go out of your way to intentionally get that. Like, you have to download a mod specifically to change your game. It's not the same as like the company race swapping a character and putting that in the default retail version that 99% of players are going to be playing as.
Yes.
Like, that's much more force upon the customer, whereas mods are very much voluntary and go out of your way if you specifically want something.
Or just completely changing a character's race and having that be the norm going forward.
Yes. Anyways, keep going.
We've seen different depictions of Nessa even before the game came out. We saw NSFW.
On the subject of mods, Nexus Mods I know is notorious for removing mods that will race swap a black character, or any character who's not white, versus I have never heard anything about them banning swapping white characters.
Yeah.
Also, like this is, I guess this also just doesn't apply to white mods that change white characters into being black.
Oh, right. Well, and yeah, those definitely exist, and like one is censored versus the other is not. Like, most major modding websites will ban it. Like, I remember this with the Miles Morales whenever it took out the pride flags, and it was like, we have banned that user and everything. Or even going down, even something very basic, like I'm going to change it to male female body type instead of type AB. Like, the censorship, moderation, that's the word I was looking for. The moderation on these mod websites is it's very slanted and one-sided towards Ant's sort of side of things. So he really has nothing to complain about when it comes to mods.
Yeah.
You are in Rule 34 art, fan art of Nessa, both in her natural state and in her fairer skin state. And recently, there's been a mod release for Pokemon Sword and Shield that has caused the community, the ignorant part of the community, to run wild.
Or they're a black cosplayer cosplaying as a character who's not.
That's it. Hang on. As a Darkstalkers fan, I'm liable to complain about this. This looks like shit.
I'm not even going to complain about this person being black. I don't think you should be that fat and play that character.
Oh my god.
She looks dark to me for a Darkstalkers character.
Oh my god. I gotta play this. This just fits.
He's fat!
Oh my god. Disgusting.
Like, if this person were white, I would be complaining just as much about this cosplay.
And the costume itself looks like shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap looking.
Cosplaying as a character who's not black. Usually Japanese, interesting enough.
Cosplay is a community, and then there's black cosplayers. We've had tons of issues in real life and online where people will say...
I imagine this person doesn't have a problem with white people like cosplaying as black characters, right? I can go to a cosplay convention and dress up as Cyborg, right?
Yeah. Well, that'd be a little hard for you, Kino, given your head ain't exactly human, but I digress.
True. There was a whole like controversy about like whenever Black Panther came out, if there were like white kids that liked it and they'd be like, "Oh, I want to be him for Halloween." It's like, "Oh, should I like let my son dress up as him? Is that okay?"
I remember not that long ago. You guys know that show Abbott Elementary?
Yeah.
No.
They had a whole Halloween episode. It's about a group of black teachers in elementary school. Then again, you kind of figure that since elementary is in the show's name, but there was a whole joke when they were surveying kids in their costumes, if it's appropriate or not. They see a black kid dressed as Black Panther walk in, they're all excited. Then the kid removes his mask, revealing it's a white kid in a Black Panther costume. And they're like, "Oh, is it?" Ask the principal.
Yeah. Let me see here. Gens 5, 6, and 8. Yeah, that's where they had black gym leaders. Here's an update on Jerry Pete's Star Wars story. His black Sith character has it written in his DNA to only be a dark side user and feels pain when trying to do what Jedi do. What the fuck?
Alright, let's get back to it.
This Paragon guy is the LTG of Dragon Ball, and he's a creepy fella. Oh no. Anyways.
Okay.
All right.
We have a lot more of this video.
Yeah, we have a lot to get through.
Oh, you can't cosplay that character because your skin's too dark or it's not canon. When in reality, it's racist and it's not okay to say stuff like that.
Oh, boo.
That's not why people are. If you looked like Halle Berry and you were cosplaying that character, nobody would be complaining. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what people cosplay as, but that goes both ways. If you're like bullying little kids into not dressing up as their favorite Disney princess or like their favorite black superhero, I think you're also a retarded bitch.
Yeah, Mark Hamill literally saying, going, "You can't dress up as stormtroopers for Halloween." Yeah. Are pigeons emo or goth? Neither. The black cosplayers are dealing with neck beards. Those creeps are racist. Whatever. God damn it, we just got an ad. Fuck.
Backseater should know he is a neckbeard.
Yeah, I'm growing it. I meant to shave it before the stream, but I got lazy.
Impacting anyone, but people make this a big deal online. I want to talk about everyone's favorite topic, blackwashing. Most people like it when an actor or actress looks like the character they're playing. Even with how many problems there were in the Aragon movie, people still went ballistic at the very first scene when they realized the actress' hair was dyed the wrong color. In the Captain N TV show, people were not happy with Mega Man being green when he was supposed to be blue. So yeah, whenever an adaptation is made, people like it when the character looks how they're supposed to look. Yet despite the outrage towards blackwashing, these same folks seem indifferent to whitewashing.
Not really.
I know, shocking, right?
Are you going to bring up an old example or a modern one?
It depends on. Yeah, good point, John. It depends on the context, and you're just going to bring up like old examples are no longer relevant.
Yeah.
Something I would have had no opportunity to protest against because I wasn't around when it happened.
Yeah.
Nolan's whitewashing, not just in The Odyssey, but throughout his entire filmography. You see, The Odyssey's cast is almost entirely white, with few, if
people
any...
absolutely complained about these people not being Greek, by the way. I definitely heard that from a lot of channels that Ant would not like.
I am very vocal over the fact that it's a poor decision to have like almost no Greek actors, and for the characters playing Greek actors, like the Indian dude in the movie, he's telling like a Greek guy who
Hamish Patel.
He's telling this Greek guy whose village he just ransacked that don't worry, we're Greeks. Like that's such a stupid sequence.
Yeah, especially back then where things were much more territorial, like geographically. Like if you saw a Muslim guy during the Crusades, you might be more hostile towards them because you might think it's some sort of invading force. People didn't travel around as much as they do nowadays, and cross pollinate, I guess would be the kind of term.
Greek or Mediterranean actors. Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Anne Hathaway, none of them are Greek, yet those are the core roles.
I also even don't like that. I'm going to be completely honest. I think Matt Damon, I still had to release my Odyssey review. I I did not like Matt Damon as Odysseus. No, I did. Yeah, I think Javier Bardem would have made a better Odysseus if we're going with like flexible casting.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm a bit more forgiving about that. You don't need to necessarily get Greek, they're from the country and they have it in their blood. I can tolerate white guys so long as they even white passing guys. Just don't make it look. Just don't have them be sore thumbs like Lupita here. Basically, that's just my standard.
That's another thing. A lot of people don't care about white people playing Greeks because Greeks are white people. They are white passing.
Yeah, they're olives. That's what I was gonna say. You can make a white person look Greek a lot easier than you can make a black person look Greek by giving them a tan. Making them more olive skinned. It's just a simple fact of color grading.
You could literally get a Italian actor or a Spaniard. You mentioned Javier. Now that I think about it, I could actually see him as being Odysseus, and no one would question it.
Geographically, that's incredibly close. So of course it's it's very easier to match. It doesn't have to be super exact in the same way. I feel you can't have it. You can have a Somalian play an Ethiopian or something because those countries are really close together.
I feel like the reason Nolan went with Matt Damon is because convenience. The two are star power and convenience. The two have collaborated in the past. I mean. Matt Damon was probably in the room where Christopher Nolan thinks, I think I'm going to do a movie based on the Odyssey. Hey, Matt, you want to be Odysseus? And he'd be like, sure.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
What the
Darth
Angel? What the fuck?
You gotta mute up. You gotta mute up, buddy. You gotta mute up. Or
what?
You're fucking up your mic.
You just fucked up for a minute, bro.
You were strangling your mic.
Angel, fucking Angel, are you wrestling your mic? What the hell?
Just mute until you talk, man. Just mute until you talk.
Angel, I'm muting you until you're done. All right, there we go. Let's keep going.
Nwongo, the biggest, most popular replacement for her among conservative commentators, is Sydney Sweeney.
Yes.
At this point, this should have been.
Oh, that's a joke half the time.
I mean, but are they?
I know she's hot, that's kind of the joke, but it's I think you can get what's her face.
I can kind of see it. I mean, she has great genes.
Evan gets what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it, but I'm trying to think of the actress. Oh gosh, she's Ukrainian on that '70s show. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Mila Kunis. I feel like Mila Kunis could possibly play a Greek. She might be a little old now, but
makeup. They could just put
she has
makeup on her.
a
That's
slightly
fine.
tan skin. But anyways,
what I want to know is how Lupita Nyong'o meets the ancient Greek beauty standards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I would want Sydney to work for the role as well. I would want her to tan. I wouldn't want her to be like porcelain. Because if she's supposed to be Greek, honestly, I would want her to look like she's been on the ocean, for the Mediterranean for a long time.
And I know tanning has sort of fallen out of favor a whole lot. No one really tans anymore, but that is still an option, y'all. But anyways.
That one is Helen of Congo. This should have been Helen of Troy.
Sydney Sweeney, by the way, is also not Greek. You have 90% of the cast is white. Greek.
Yeah.
But a couple black people, that draws ire. This is, of course, aligned with a general indifference to whitewashing from mainstream media, perhaps because historically it's been pretty prevalent. You see, Nolan has often cast primarily white casts in roles that are either ambiguously not white or absolutely not white.
And trying to position himself as the side that's against mainstream media.
Yeah.
Yet you ain't the rebel, buddy. You are the establishment.
He is controlled. He is controlled opposition, is what he is. Yes.
Also, I find it plain that the mainstream media has been indifferent on whitewashing to be the most laughable thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Yes. This is a classic example of I don't want to be seen as with the corpos, but I also still have to be very left leaning, even though a lot of the corporations support those exact beliefs. Yeah.
Yeah. Begins, for example, Liam Neeson plays Ra's al Ghul. Oh, I'm sorry, Ra's al Ghul.
Father's name was pronounced Raish, not Raz.
A common mistake.
Ra's uses the moniker Henry Ducard at first, who in the comics is the man who helped train Bruce Wayne in manhunting and all that. Ducard in the comics is a white guy, sure, but Ra's is more ambiguous in the comics. Various writers have changed Raish's identity and ethnicity. It is generally agreed now that he is of Middle Eastern and Asian descent, though that's very ambiguous.
His nerd cred, because he thinks we're babies and he needs to give a crash course every damn video to pad out the runtime.
He's also like 600 years old, so like, yeah, he could have originally.
I mean, who's to say that Raish's home country it has gone extinct by the time Batman comes around? Like, I imagine,
he's from ancient Persia, yeah.
Like, I imagine it's that joke from What We Do in the Shadows, where Nandor's given a crash course about his home country, and Mother goes, "Oh yeah, that country doesn't exist anymore." He's like, "Oh, when did this happen?" 1401.
Yeah.
Like last I checked, Ra's has always been portrayed as white passing. Like
yeah, he kind of does. Yeah.
Racially ambiguous means that you can pass as white but be something else.
Yeah.
I mean, with like a slight tan and some darkened hair, that you could be good. You could be good. Like, I always imagined Edgar Ramirez being a good Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, but maybe he will, Zio. We'll see. And actually, stop crashing out.
What that means.
There's a very prominent example of it. Does end up being a race swap, but it's also a sex swap where the Ancient One in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And that one was done just to please people like Ant, who, would complain about a racial stereotype of like the old, Asian wise man.
Asian man, yeah.
And it's like, okay, so what's your position then? It's going to be conflict. It's like, oh, do we play into the or do we have to have them? We do have to completely change the character so they aren't acting like the old.
They also did it to please the Chinese film market because that part of the movie takes place in like Tibet. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They can't acknowledge that.
Yeah. Anyways, keep going here.
They also did the same thing with Baron Mordo, except they had a black man play him.
Yeah.
And Baron Mordo in the comics, kind of white passing, but most people kind of viewed him as being of Asian descent.
And even imply he was born in North Africa. What he isn't, though, is white. Similarly, his daughter, Talia al Ghul, is also...
Africans are kind of on the edge. Cleopatra, and I know she doesn't have that descent, but people in very northern Egypt are on the edge.
Not Arabic or Asian in the films, but white. But does this change who they are on a fundamental level?
Who the mother was that he fucked?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
That's half of her lineage.
Also, not Arabic or Asian in the films, but white. But does this change who they are on a fundamental level? Well, I don't really know. Nolan changes so many elements of both characters already, it's hard to say which ones are anchored to nationality and which ones are anchored to just the character writing. There's no Lazarus Pit. Ra's is much younger than his counterpart in the comics, Ra's. Talia is not the mother of Batman's son. There's a lot of elements here that are different, and thus it's hard to really say which ones are specifically affected.
Yeah, I would say Nolan taking out the whole like immortality shit was far more of a egregious kind of change because he had to make everything so grounded,
making both characters extremely white. But one case where it's not ambiguous, where they had to rewrite the entire character to justify them not being a person of color, is Bane. In The Dark Knight Rises, Bane is played by Tom Hardy, who gives a fairly, I don't know if beloved is the right word. Iconic performance, memorable, maybe.
Memorable. Dark Knight Rises is pretty shit in my opinion. I don't know if that's controversial.
Yeah. Ant's trying to bring these characters up as a gotcha, but it only proves the point of Christopher Nolan taking creative liberties that are less interesting as the source material, which is the same criticism being levied at him towards The Odyssey. Like first, nobody really holds these casting choices in a positive light. Not really. Liam Neeson isn't remembered at all for his role, if we're being honest.
He's really boring in it, yeah.
And Tom Hardy and like Marion Cotillard, is that the actress for Talia?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were both mocked endlessly for their roles.
Yeah.
Cotillard, especially for her death scene.
Which is ironically, quick little tangent, but it's very similar to Rose Tico dying in Last Jedi because they both give the.
Yeah. Anyways.
However, unlike Tom Hardy,
and
Bane
by the
is-
way, Ant, I will take your kind of side in the Bane thing. The best modern Bane is Batman Arkham Origins, who's more of the luchador kind of style. I think it does absolutely kind of lend itself to the character. He's got a little bit of the accent. He plays into that sort of wrestling style, and it's fine for him to be more Hispanic. I think he did a lot better job in that game than Tom Hardy.
I'm pretty sure he was voiced by a white guy. Wasn't he voiced by Fred Tatasciore in that game?
Oh, that I don't know.
That's how you say his last name? Tatasciore?
I think it is, but anyways, yeah.
He's getting voiced by Michael Lando in the Nightfall animated movie coming up.
Oh, we'll see about that, because
who is surprisingly, a lot of people don't know this, he's actually not Mexican.
Yeah.
It's just weird. That's kind of
Canadian.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of noticeable. I mean, he does look pretty white. Like, I never heard of people mistaking him with Mexican, but if you kind of look at him, like, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, keep going.
not of British descent. He's from a Caribbean island between Cuba and Jamaica.
Yeah.
He's Latino. His father.
Here's something Ant don't know. This is something he finally got wrong for once. Bane is mixed race because his dad is white. His dad is another lesser-known DC villain named King Cobra, I believe. I believe that's his dad. I don't know.
Blonde,
I just know
right?
he's a blonde guy. Yeah. So there's something Ant fucked up. Bane's mixed.
Yeah.
And I
also,
should know because Bane's the goat. But anyways.
Another problem is that Christopher Nolan, yes, it's a bad adaptation of Bane in terms of like source material, but it is kind of he kind of adapted Ubu, or a version of Ubu as Bane, and just called it Bane. And Ubu is a very racially ambiguous character because there's not a singular Ubu. It's a title passed on to a seemingly endless army of buff bald guys.
He's Raish's goon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
What the fuck is an Ubu?
No, I don't know.
That was my only complaint. What the fuck is that name? I'd be embarrassed if I had a name like that.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a name you would give to an imaginary friend.
Yeah, anyway.
Revolutionary who was slain in battle, and the father's sentence was carried out upon his son. So Bane, a nameless baby, was sent to Peña Duro before being born. He became the
pretty sure he was born in the prison, but anyways, I digress.
most dangerous prisoner there and a test subject of the experimental strength-enhancing drug Venom. He then
Thanks for recapping Bane's origin, and because apparently we have the minds of goldfish.
faked his own death and escaped, becoming a crime lord.
Like seriously, why the I hate to fucking take a tangent here, but why the fuck does Ant, honest to God, who the fuck do you make your videos for? Are they for people who are already, in the know on the subject? Or are they for fucking morons looking to get an opinion from someone? Pick one or the other. I'm tired of this. What?
We also don't know anything about Bane's backstory in The Dark Knight Rises. We don't even know his real name.
Yeah.
In the process,
he could be biracial. He could be played. He could originate from from Mexico or wherever. It'd still be biracial. That one Harley Quinn version of Bane. He talks like Tom Hardy, and he's Mexican.
Yeah.
Batman.
I was gonna say, but I didn't want to cut off Kino, but I know plenty of white-ish guys. Like, they look like white guys, but they are actually very light-skinned Puerto Ricans. And if you look at their mothers, they're super Puerto Rican. But apparently, you could idealistically see Tom Hardy's Bane, being a very light-skinned Latino. But of course, they don't touch upon that in Bane's stories because in The Dark Knight Rises, I don't think his backstory particularly matters all that much.
No, it don't.
But yeah, that's a good point, Evan. Ant seems to think that being Middle Eastern or Spanish means that you must have brown skin, which is not only incorrect, but something his audience would call racist, as it dismisses the lived experience of light-skinned minorities.
Yeah.
It also ignores geography in the equator because there's these countries are very often like pretty vast, depending. And there's northern and southern parts of them. There's there's very different like northern Spain, you're going to be more light skinned. You're going to look basically like a French person because you're on the French border. Very southern Spain, you're going to look closer to an African person. It's just a simple fact, and he seems to ignore it.
That is fundamentally different than the Dark Knight Rises origin. But the iconic mask, that's the problem. You see, that had to be rewritten. In Nolan's film, the mask distributes a drug that staves off chronic pain from injury sustained, helping Talia Ghul escape prison. But in the comics, that's not the case. Venom is often not injected orally through the mouth, but
this
usually
is what I mentioned
intravenously.
with Ra's al Ghul before, where like he ignored the whole Lazarus pit thing, and he does the same thing with Bane, where he ignores like the whole Venom concept, which it's because Nolan's like stupid and he needs everything to be so super grounded.
Yeah, again, that's one of my biggest complaints of the Odyssey, how he tries to downplay the magical elements. Like he completely omits the gods.
Fantastical elements, yeah.
Yeah, fantastical elements. And he does that with the Batman movies too. There's a level of unbelievability to them, obviously, but he tries to make it as serious as he can, which is just like it gets kind of like kind of goofy sometimes because it's the
I mean, it works for some villains, but not for everyone. Like it didn't really work for Ra's, and it didn't really work for Bane, I must say, but it worked for Joker, it worked for Two-Face, worked for Scarecrow.
Yeah.
The fear toxin is like just on that edge where he's like, all right, I can do this. Like, but Venom, that's past the edge of science silliness.
Yeah.
I mean, you could literally just say, oh, Venom is just enhanced steroids.
Yeah.
So then, what's the mask for? Well, it's very simple.
And Nolan,
it's
if
a
he
luchador.
wanted to, he could have done this. Like, he could have had Ra's take some sort of drug or have some sort of fancy plant or something that like keeps him very young for like he could be like 150 or something.
That Lazarus plant.
Yeah, and the same thing with Bane. You could have he wouldn't be like pumping up in the moment, but he would be an overall like super muscular guy and have like slightly above average like a Captain America almost, and have like a super soldier serum almost. Like you could have done this, and he just kind of put zero effort into ever integrating that stuff.
Which makes sense for a Latino man who grew up in a prison, who idolized power and being unbeatable. It's a sign of raw strength.
But that's not that's not intrinsically tied to him being Latino.
Yeah, plus Bane, I love Bane, but Bane ain't busting out these moves anytime soon.
I mean, it would be awesome. It would be awesome to see Bane pull off some 619 on Batman and the Dark Knight Rises. Like if he did that, that would have been like instant 5 stars for me.
Pop, yeah. Anyways,
but it's not British. It's not something Tom Hardy could wear and it makes sense. So Nolan had to fundamentally alter the character.
Why?
And this component.
Oh yeah, Bane's character had to be completely altered just because Tom Hardy is British. Not because of Nolan's Nolanisms, but because of Tom Hardy, who was probably cast until after they had done all the adaptation changes.
Well, he's going to do the classic thing here of whenever a character is this ethnicity, it's important, and that's why it can't be changed. It's central to the story. Whereas every time somebody is white, that's just the default.
It's somehow not.
It doesn't matter.
But it doesn't make any sense to me as to how like changing like Bane from Spanish to British and then having him the exact same origin. Like what changes? Nothing really.
Don't you know only Latin people can pull off crazy moves?
And forgot that Spanish and British people existed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bane's dad's British. But anyways.
Genuinely changed who Bane is. Essentially, Nolan
I mean, if Ed really thinks that Latino people can't pull off crazy moves, then clearly he's not familiar with New Japan.
Yes.
And Bane is far more important to a Batman story than Helen of Troy is to an Odyssey film. Because Helen of Troy is not really relevant in the story of the Odyssey.
He's doing that thing Kino mentioned.
She actually is relevant in the Iliad, which is tied into the Odyssey.
Yeah. Also, Ant, you forgot to answer this very important question about Bane and The Dark Knight Rises. Is The Dark Knight Rises an adaptation of The Long Halloween? You forgot to answer that, but anyways, I digress. Here's double A. And as a Latino myself, I do not need you to give me the history and references of Bane. Who asked for history representation from someone that did not make the movie, let alone write it? That's a good point.
Yeah, and look, Helen is just Lupita being cast as Helen is just a microcosm of the many problems of the Odyssey. Because Nolan just did not respect the original story or really understand it in the same way he didn't understand Batman comic books because his brother and other writers were the one who actually read him, not him.
Yeah, the Ellen Page thing is fucking stupid too.
Yeah.
Not to mention, if the source of the Odyssey that you adapted, like that, that translator lady, Emily Wilson, if even she is coming out to trash on your movie, Mr. Christopher Nolan, you messed up big time.
Fucked up. Yeah.
I actually recommend Little Platoon pointed out a lot of the changes that people would view as like a culture war thing by her, and like, oh look, it's because he translated from her. It's actually just Christopher Nolan that changed those things, and that's why she has even come out in criticism of him, because he actually seems to be more the extremist in that sort of stuff.
Man, woke leftists eating one another. Is there no better feeling in the world?
And to be clear with Nolan, I don't even think it's that he has a super political agenda. I think it's because he needs that super grounded thing, and so he is fundamentally kind of at conflict with that story, and it kind of puts him at odds with a lot of its story beats and themes in it.
Yes.
Because he doesn't believe in that style of storytelling, really.
Yeah, but yeah, also, I just find this ridiculous. So apparently, a big-ass guy with one eye, that's too ridiculous for Nolan, but traveling inside someone's dream and then traveling inside one of the people who inhabit that dream world's dreams, that's totally believable. Okay. Dex double A, listen to this off. He all just happens to be Mexican. Yeah, thanks, double A.
Oh yeah, sure, but not
Olé.
yeah. People don't really complain with Bane or Ra's al Ghul for that. Perhaps because
they're criticized for their comic inaccuracies.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Their race also factors into the inaccuracies, though. Yeah.
Because there's a history of whitewashing.
Like, I guess like what Ant means is that like most people aren't comic book fans, which is true. Like but that also applies to every other adaptations that they're not familiar with.
Last time I checked, not many people are reading fucking feminist translations of Greek epics.
It's funny. I was actually reading up on the history of Emily Wilson. I'm looking at images of her, and I can't help but to feel that once you go inside her classrooms, you're in for a wild ride.
Ultimate Zilla in Kino's chat made a very good point. The American Godzilla versus that is an example that I remember from early in my life about people will complain about things being inaccurate in general. It doesn't always have to be race, and they hated that so much that in the next Japanese movie they had Godzilla kill Zilla and completely destroy him and bury him, literally.
I remember hearing that during the premiere of Zilla, the actual creator of Godzilla stormed out of the theater halfway through, yelling, "That is not Godzilla!"
Yeah.
Didn't the same thing happen with the live-action Dragon Ball movie?
That movie was so bad, it inspired Akira Toriyama to go back writing Dragon Ball, because he wasn't writing Dragon Ball then.
The guy who played Zamasu, the guy who played Piccolo later played Zamasu as an apology, and he gave a pretty good dub performance, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, so he's talking about blackface and yellowface. Does anyone want to skip this? Because no one really does this, and no one really is saying let's bring this back.
Let's talk about the hypocrisy of Gingerside and blackwashing fears.
Here we go.
We all, Evan?
Yeah, if he's going to talk about whitewashing, I can't help but to feel that he's going to bring up The Conqueror. If you guys know what The Conqueror was.
Okay. Yeah.
So The Conqueror was a film from the mid-50s. Yeah. It was about Genghis Khan. That is the actual pronunciation of his name. And Genghis Khan was played by none other than an aging John Wayne. And most people point to that film as being a prime example of whitewashing in Hollywood. But the problem with that film wasn't just the fact that it casted a pretty past his prime John Wayne to play a Mongol emperor and conqueror, but it also gets controversy from the fact that it was filmed on a literal nuclear wasteland, and lots of people from the cast and crew got cancer after that film wrapped.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the hypocrisy of Gingercide and Blackwashing.
I will comment on the 4 films he has here. I don't know what the hell Cloud Atlas or Charlie Chan are, but Breakfast at Tiffany's, we don't do that anymore. And Tropic Thunder was done for a joke, and if anything, it makes fun of it. So there you go, Ant. I just summed up your points for you.
Generally agree that blackface and yellowface is bad, unless you're a fan of the movie Soul Brother, which is a whole other discussion. But it's distinctly different from whitewashing. You see, one
Yeah, way to go, Ant. You fucked up the title.
fetishizes different ethnicities. The other eclipses them. Indeed, blackwashing is already different. When Michael Clarke Duncan played the Kingpin in Daredevil, he didn't try to...
That character was not the Kingpin. It was more so Barracuda and the Punisher villain. I like the actor. That's why I'm not bothered by his performance, but he didn't do a good job of playing Wilson Fisk.
Yeah. Anyways, keep going here.
Act white. Nor did Idris Elba play white when portraying Heimdall. They didn't put on white makeup on. No, whitewashing completely changes things. People will often argue that there's a ginger side happening, where ginger characters are replaced by people of color. It's a common fear, especially with April O'Neil.
It's not it's not a fear. It's a pattern we're pointing out, and we're sick of it.
Why don't you point out, bring up the image of Gingercide, actually, real quick?
Oh yeah,
it is not inaccurate at all, I will say.
Yeah, it's literally, because literally it's like, if we're able to, hang on, I got the collage right here from Reddit. Oh, let's see, where is it here? If we're able to make a goddamn collage about this and point all the times it's happened, it's a fucking trend. Oh, but we're just racist for pointing all this out. Yeah, how dare we? How fucking dare we?
These are also all modern examples, which is something to keep in mind.
These are all like in the last 10 decade at least. Look at this shit.
Good thing we got a ginger on the panel.
And they're all black. Keep in mind, this isn't colorblind casting, because you would see some Hispanic, Asian, or just a white person with who isn't ginger. So you know that this is just an industry standard.
It's going to happen in Riverdale, but I don't think KG Appa is black. I think he's from New Zealand. I think he's Kiwi, but the point still stands.
As the old saying goes, once is once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, 3 times it's an enemy attack. This is more than 3 fucking times, Ant. Look at this.
And again, the fact that they are all black and not any other race, nobody finds that suspicious. Nobody finds that to be weird at all.
Well, there was a black lady that says gingers are black people. So
ginger is an anagram. Around,
I get that reference, John.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me go back here. All right. Nope, that's the wrong goddamn thing. Fuck.
And anybody saying that they're more oppressed? I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a Kick a Ginger Day in high school, but I heard of
that. Ginger 20 times. Yeah, Ant's too dumbass. He thinks it's a conspiracy. Balls to people in Hollywood. If only they had the balls. All right, let's keep going.
And Mary Jane Watson. This, of course, ignores how blonde actresses like Kirsten Dunst were cast as Mary Jane.
Oh, look. Oh, what is this she's wearing? It's almost as if she's using a wig or hair dye, whatever the fuck this is. No, it's, could you guys imagine how fucking ridiculous it would be if fucking fucking Kirsten Dunst here was just put in as she is. It's like it's a blonde Mary Jane. Like, could you imagine all the Spire fans walking in going like, that's not Mary Jane, that's fucking Gwen Stacy.
And spoiler, since you were raging against her casting earlier in something, Sydney Sweeney ain't a blonde.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just like a really light.
We can
brunette,
work hair a lot easier than we can work, skin color. Because you know what, I mean, we could do skin color, but I don't think that's gonna be acceptable nowadays.
Yeah, even then, it's also just a generally outdated practice. But anyways.
Originally,
I know for the Netflix Scooby-Doo show, they casted a blonde actress for Daphne, but based on the set photos, she dyed her red.
Yeah, exactly.
Wore a really bad-looking wig. That first wig.
Oh, it's all right.
The first
It doesn't look bad.
Yeah,
I don't know.
movie. It's a little artificial. They also forget how in the original TMNT movies, April was a brunette, not ginger. Hell, in the first movie, her hair is the same color and consistency as Splinter's hair. You know, the brown hair. Also,
Okay. Okay. And because this one adaptation didn't give her ginger hair, that justifies making her fat and black.
Might as well. Yeah. Oh, but they dyed the tips of her dreads red, so that's a-okay. Yeah.
And something he won't acknowledge that is very much true is that you have to fight a lot harder to, if you want to say it's blind, that's fine, but why is it like trying to change April back now? And I know this even from One Piece, which is an extreme example with Usopp, where they're making a manga accurate remake now on Netflix, and people saw the art for it and they're like, why are they whitewashing Usopp? It's like, they're not whitewashing, they're just making him look like the manga, literally. And it's like, well, no, because Netflix cast him as black, now he has to be black forever.
That's great. That's a live action version, not the
Yeah.
the manga
Yeah,
version.
they're even doing it with the damn Lego sets. The Legos are based off the Netflix show. Yeah.
People are just like, nope, now he is black forever because we changed him one time. And it always goes that way where it's like you have to fight tooth and nail to change it back if you ever do. Otherwise,
but these are also people that don't know that the original character wasn't black. So
Yeah, because they're too lazy to read.
They jumped on board the ship like fucking as soon like when they made the live action version or whatever.
I see what you did there because they're pirates. Yeah.
Ayo.
I can't help but to feel what would have happened, because I'm not sure you guys knew, but in the original Tim Burton Batman movies, they had concept art where they actually introduced Robin. Apparently, they had the idea of having Marlon Wayans be Dick Grayson. So I can't help but to feel that if they had actually went all the way through that, then would Dick Grayson still be black today?
I don't think so, because he'd been in the comics for like way longer by that point, and there's just no way you can do that without just making massive continuity fuck ups. If they did that, what I think they would have done, they would have introduced a whole new black character based on Wayans Grayson and called it a day, basically. I think that's what they've done.
Yeah, this is like another dumb thing. Like there are already black Batmen. There's like the Signal, Batwing,
Stan Lee's version of Batman was black.
Yeah. $2
Kino,
super chat. Oh, sorry. $2 super chat from Fox. US 8 is over. Why is Ant still doing this? Good question. Now what?
I don't know. Anyways, Kino, do you think comparing Birdman to Low Tier God and Short Fat Otaku are accurate comparisons?
Short Fat Otaku and Anthony Gramuglia definitely share similarities.
Birdman.
Like Low Tier God and Bird Brain share similarities. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not just saying that because they're black. I'm saying that because, well, actually, that's a bit unfair to Low Tier God because he at least fucks. He at least has a child.
It's now been blonde. It got to the point where God of War.
Plus, no one is saying that. Also, Marvel Thor has so many fucking things wrong. Like, Marvel Thor is completely different from Norse myth Thor, so we just treat him as two different ones anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think any people who like enjoy Norse mythology, or I don't think Marvel fans are campaigning, hey, let's make Thor in all adaptations of the original Norse myths blonde just because Marvel made him that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. That's why I've always considered Thor to be the weakest Avenger writing wise,
Ooh, hot take.
like compared to the original lineup, I think Iron Man is more interesting, Captain America is more interesting, Hulk is more interesting. Ant-Man is a really underrated character alongside Wasp as being really interesting characters. But yeah, like Thor and the rest of the Asgardians are characters who are built off of a very limited understanding of Norse mythology, and then granted the Marvel writers at the time did what they could to expand on them, but it's also like they have like a bunch of misunderstandings that they can't really course correct, so it is a bit flawed.
Yeah,
That's
like
also,
I said, it's too late to basically reverse them. Yeah.
Kino, whenever you say that he's the worst, are you referring to the MCU, the comics, or both?
I would say, like, in terms of development, probably Hawkeye is the way his. Oh my god, bro! You
Angel,
gotta mute
please.
Angel!
Mute him again.
Angel!
Hawkeye
This is unacceptable!
Hawkeye is pretty weak in the MCU. I love him way more in the comics because he has a whole arc of being a supervillain first and then becoming a superhero. Same as Wanda and Pietro. Then Captain America mentors them, and like Hawkeye becomes like one of my favorite Avengers actually because he's like a mainstay. But in the MCU, he's like his character's like pretty flat for me personally. Vanilla, yeah. I like Natasha, but yeah, I don't really see Thor as being a staple either necessarily.
The Kino coming in with that spice for this.
Yeah, I don't know the comics as well. I do like him in the MCU. I just am a fan of that sort of like Shakespearean kind of storytelling, like Kenneth Branagh was trying in that first movie. And then, fourth movie fumbles all of this, but I feel like there were enough reins, I guess, on Taika in the third one that he got some development. Loki did as well in the third one. But
yeah, I just find Loki much more interesting character than Thor, and Thor just kind of seems like to be a hanger on to Loki. That's just how I interpret the character. That's just my read on the character. Like all of Thor's villains, the majority of them work way better with other superheroes. Like Absorbing Man and the Wrecking Crew work way better with Hulk. Cobra, like Cobra and Mr. Hyde, they work way better with Captain America. Like Cobra essentially became like a mainstay Captain America villain with a Serpent Society.
Yeah.
Like who else is there?
Grey Gargoyle. I know
Weren't
he became
the
an Iron Man
Thunderbolts
villain.
also tied to Thor?
Who?
The Thunderbolts.
No,
they're a whole
the
different
Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts are the masters of evil, posing as superheroes.
But they're good guys.
But then they became. But then they learned to like actually like being.
They liked being good guys, and they pulled a face.
I mean, they're pretty much meatheads, essentially. Meatheads with weapons. That's why they work so appropriate with Hulk.
Besides Zemo. Now, I like the concept of Thunderbolts. I collected their comics as a kid. Looking back, though, I think that they were like a lot of the characters had their characterization assassinated. It could have been done better. You also had like a classic race swap with the Beetle, who was white, getting turned black, and that was framed as progressive. But then they were just like, actually, this is blackface. Never mind.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was just Beetle, and then you remove his mask and say, "Oh, it's the black guy." It's like, wait a second, this is just makeup, and you just wipe his face, and he's just a white guy.
Yeah. Sorry for the
It's like,
sidetrack.
look, I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
That conversation was more interesting than anything in Ant's video, so I just needed to have
but
some
like,
sort of intelligent.
But like, this is like I guess take this as a W if you want, Ant. Like, sure, you can have like different interpretations of the character, like Thor, for instance, and it not be completely lined up to, like Norse mythology, so it can work in your universe. But I think another thing to keep in mind is that you can do that with like any character, regardless of race. Like you could turn Luke Cage into like a blue collar guy for an alternate universe, and have like Iron Fist be like not martial arts focused, but more so maybe tech based. Like obviously there's work to be done in building them up, because they're essentially different characters at that point. But different interpretations of a character have different appeal.
Speaking at man, you just reminded me of Iron Fist. There was a whole freaking controversy when his series came out, not because of the stuff that actually turned out horrible in it.
Even though
the white savior trope. We can't reinforce
How dare
this.
you cast a white man to play a white man?
And it was like people who clearly had not read the comics.
So
like,
I guess Daniel Russo is problematic too, because an Asian guy is teaching like a non-Asian guy karate, and he's using it to save the day. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like Iron Fist isn't claiming to like steal, take credit for Asian accomplishments. He's like applying what he learned. By this reasoning, any white guy learning karate or any martial art is evil.
This was the whole thing with La La Land too. They're like, oh, a white guy saving jazz. It's like, first of all, he just opened one frickin' bar.
He definitely didn't. He definitely didn't save jazz. If that's your interpretation of the ending, you're a fucking idiot.
It's like one white guy who happened to be passionate, and people have all these sort of. So Ant wants to point out these extreme examples where it's like, oh, you guys are always making this about race. It's like, no, it is made about race constantly. Anytime a white character like slightly infringes on what they think is like, black or any other his minority territory, Asian with Iron Fist, anything like that, they're always like, oh, terrible. Even if there's source material that The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise has always made a joke about, and it's like, first of all, it's a pretty good movie, but second of all, he's like clearly an outsider, a Civil War commander going to Japan to teach their recruits to fight the samurai. Like in story, it makes complete sense, and he's observing The Last Samurai. He is not The Last Samurai. Like he brings up all these like crazy examples of like people having problems with the black characters, and it's like I can bring up a lot for people having problems with white characters, and you guys being way more crazy about it, and like not ignoring sources, ignoring story, ignoring all context.
Yeah.
Also, I have some super chats from Fox again. For $2, Marlon Wayne stars as Robin with 2 B's. Fox for $2 again. What if his name was Hawkeye?
Before we move on, I do want to say, one of you guys brought up Greg Gargoyle earlier. I would have rather have him as the villain for Thor: Love and Thunder as opposed to Gore the God Butcher, if that was the case. Mostly because I always felt Greg Gargoyle was criminally underrated.
Well, Evan, he just would have been butchered and destroyed in that movie by the horrible writing as well. So be happy that he wasn't in it.
Anyways.
Now, been blonde. It got to the point where God of War Ragnarok tried to harken back to the old designs of Thor, with him looking more like the God of Thunder as depicted in mythology. But this more accurate version of Thor was rejected by the same people arguing we had a ginger son.
Not because he wasn't blonde, because he was fat.
I hate this argument. It's the same people. This is just like now with the whole PlayStation thing, where they're like, oh, these same people that are saying they, no disc, no buy, they buy all digital. I'm like, no, it's not the same people. We wouldn't be fucking complaining if it was the same people.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the God of War games, but like when you look at like the context, or like from what I've understood of Thor this game, him being fat is a result of him being is a result of him being depressed. Like he's not like at his A game, and also he's still pretty powerful. Like that's even while fat, because that's like a different form of weight.
He looks like a strongman competition.
He looks
dude.
more like oh my god, what the hell is his name? I'm trying to think of his name. He's from the Thor comics. the fat ass. Kino, help me out here. What's his name?
He's from the war.
Yeah,
from the
that
Warrior
guy. I'm trying to
3.
think of his name here.
Hmm.
It's Hogan, fucking Fandral, and Volstagg. He looks more like fucking Volstagg in this.
Yeah, well, and even like Andre the Giant, Big Show, whatever, they got guts and
Yeah.
like.
But
nobody's
anyways,
calling
but
them
yeah,
weak.
anyways, Kino, about your point about the God of War gods, yeah, as someone who's played the Greek games, aka the good God of War games, they take a lot of artistic liberties with the gods in that games. Like if you look up fucking Hades from God of War 3, he doesn't look a damn thing like how he ought to, is how the Greeks envision him.
Hades actually has kind of the Thor physique from this game.
Yeah.
He's kind of got the gut and like the big, like he's kind of got the sweet tooth design where it's like the big, strong looking guy, but also kind of fat.
His head's on fire. Yeah.
2 more super chats from Fox. For $2, Japanese people also loved Last Samurai. And no God of War new God of War is the most soy game ever.
Preach! Preach!
I wouldn't.
Belly like that and a big hammer. That's not intimidating, but the scrawny Abercrombie and Fitch model looking one, this is intimidating.
That is, that's pretty fucking buff right there, dude. That is a bodybuilder right there.
Good. I think they both look good, but the problem is that once the game
they
came
both
out,
look good for different reasons.
Yeah, once the game came out, like people understood, oh yeah, this is the direction this Thor is taking in God of War Ragnarok, and they ended up like accepting it.
Yeah.
They thought it was gonna be like a classic subversion when it not really was.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't Fat Thor from Endgame. Is one.
No, he wasn't treated as a joke. He is like a very serious character in that.
Yeah.
And like Odin he's not fat in that. He's kind of like a scrawnier kind of old man, and it fits more with his power set in that he's more of a, tricky kind of magic based, whereas Thor is more like brute force. But they both work in their respective roles.
And fun fact about Thor and the Ragnarok game, the guy who voiced Thor in that game, Ryan Hurst, was meant to be Kratos in the Amazon live action series, but unfortunately he got an ACL tear, and as opposed to waiting, letting him heal up so they can continue filming, they fired him.
Oh my god!
And now Dave Bautista's in talks of taking over the role, and they fired the kid that played his son.
Yeah, because didn't the kid hit like a growth spur or something?
I don't remember the exact reason why. Maybe it was a chemistry thing, but at that point, like, okay, if you just fired the 2 main stars of the show, why are you still doing this show? I mean, just can the thing altogether. I mean, based on everything we've know about the live action show, you're pleasing literally nobody.
The main thing with that is that they should have started at the Greek trilogy, and they don't
exactly
do that.
3 games. There's more than 3. But
yeah,
not to mention if you're gonna get Dave Bautista to be Kratos in that case, who, by the way, not sure you guys know, but Bautista is of Greek descent. He has some Greek blood within him already. So just make the show based on the Greek era. Why are you starting off with the Norse already? Like, fucking hell, man.
He would have made for a good suitor, Dave Bautista.
Oh, but then the new games, they grew up. They're mature. They don't have fucking stories where Kratos is emotional and shit.
As if you're saying rage is not an emotion.
Fox for $5. Thank you so much for the super chats, man. Also, Ares is depicted as very lean and fit in mythology. In the games, he's bare-chested and bearded. Zeus and Poseidon are pretty accurate, though.
Yeah, Zeus looks very accurate
they do look good.
Zeus looks, he is pretty much how you would envision Zeus in a mythology. I mean,
he's really
evil. Only Disney's Percy Jackson took notes from the God of War games and appearances for the Greek gods.
Yeah.
If only.
This outrage seems selective, almost contradictory to an extent. But even then,
you choose not to see it from one end. You ignore every criticism that doesn't have to do with race or is from one perspective. And
you're the contradictory.
You haven't brought up any of the shit that we brought up as far as the white characters that are criticized for this shit.
Like,
so,
and the reason you're confused is because you're bringing up like a bunch of different people who have agree and disagree with each other on certain issues and treating them as one the same when they're not. So
yeah,
it's just a sign of low intelligence, Ant. You're trying to frame everyone as if they're the same person when that's not true.
You're cherry
Like,
picking and then saying, why are only these certain things here?
It's like he's trying to question like a straight guy sexuality, and he says, "Hey, you say that you're attracted to women, yet you're not attracted to land whales. Why is that?"
I would say it's more like yeah. Oh yeah, he's like only not women, but it's like me like I'm only playing platformer games on my game console of choice, and I'm like, why doesn't this console have anything other than platform games? It's like it's so weird. Why doesn't anybody bring this up? And it's like, well, they do
Big
exist.
gamer.
They're right over here. It's like, no, I didn't buy any of those though.
Also, that hang on, let me see if I forgot. That right there is Ant's face where he just realized, oh no, Backseat is making a video on me again. Anyways, that is a look of foresight right there. Anyways.
People don't really care about blackwashing, do they? Nick Fury, Electro, Heimdall, Kingpin, Commissioner Gordon.
Let's go through all these one by one. But first,
all right.
And most people don't give a fuck about whitewashing either, just so we're clear. Like, only nerds care about this shit.
Yeah.
Nick Fury, let's just speed run all of these. Nick Fury is not based. Nick Fury is not based off of the 616 version.
Fury, yeah.
It's based on the Ultimate Nick Fury, which is directly based off of Sam Jackson in turn. Next.
Yeah, there was like I believe it's a contractual obligation. Like, in order for them to base the character off of his likeness, they had to give him the rights to play the character in any live action adaptation.
Yeah, this is not a race swap. It's how he was in another universe. Yeah, not true.
Yeah. It's an adaptation based on a race swap.
If you actually look at compare the 616 and Ultimate version, they're actually fairly different.
Yeah, that guy actually has hair on his head, but yeah.
Electro.
Here's
Electro is fucking terrible. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he should have been brought back.
Remember Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he was like some fanboy nerd,
gullible idiot
who got his powers from electric eels. Fucking terrible.
Hold on. You forget. As he was getting his powers, the eels magically fixed the gap between his teeth. That's brilliant writing right there, my man.
And it gave him a six-pack too, yeah.
And then what music does he play when he's bouncing between all the electrical shit? He's like
that fucking Pharrell Williams song, yeah.
So stupid.
Which is a good song, but still, yeah.
I will say this in regards of Electro. I'm a little on the fence about casting Electro as a black man. Like, sure, Jamie Foxx is great and all, but there are some better options for Electro. However, I wouldn't be opposed to Francine Fry being portrayed by Zoe Kravitz. I will say that.
Yeah.
Heimdall.
Here's Heimdall.
Heimdall, again, like, I would say he's kind of a glup shitto when you think about it, but he was in the comics. He was
he is
the brother.
white.
He was the brother to Sif. A lot of people don't know that because it's so like obscure. Like, it doesn't matter at all. But again, like, if you're gonna like a lot of the Wakandans are glup shittos, and if you're gonna say if one of them was like white or not black, that would like raise some eyebrows. And the only reason Heimdall isn't given any attention is because Idris Elba is playing him, who is a great actor. I would say like a lot of like that's one of the biggest problems with Heimdall. Like he's a wasted role on Idris Elba, who could play like other characters like the Blue Marvel.
Yeah. Kingpin, we've been over him.
Not Wilson Fisk, but Barracuda. Yeah.
Here's fucking. I think that's Gordon right there.
Yeah. So I would say of the race swaps, this is like the less egregious. But even then, people didn't accept him. They said, "Why is he like, what's the point of this
Yeah,
race swap?
Ryan
And,
sure as shit didn't accept him, didn't he, John?
and Jeffrey Wright, like said, "You're all racist and illogical. Get away from me." Blah.
All right.
You know, funny enough, I did some reading based on the casting for this Batman movie, and apparently Jeffrey Wright wasn't even the first choice to begin with.
Oh my god.
It was actually Mahershala Ali in the running for Gordon there. And honestly, at this point, and I think the reason why Mahershala turned it out was because Blade.
Yeah,
Contractually obligated to stay within the production of Blade. Sad trombone noise.
Holy shit! I'm getting a ton of super chats. Let me read them out real
Fox,
quick.
Man.
Fox for $5.
Hey, gamer, we royally soyified Kratos. Now want to play as his girl boss gatekeeper gaslight wife? No? Well, too bad. Wait, why aren't you buying our games? We have Jack Quaid voicing the gelatinous cube.
I added that last part. Ultrasound 77 for $5. As a reminder, Ant thinks Metamorphosis is deep art. Yeah, we went over that at the beginning.
We've been over that.
Fox for
I read the
$2.
synopsis. Yikes.
Garth Ennis, Nick Fury is actually Kino. Read it. Okay, sure. And the last one for now, from once again from Fox for $2. Marvel also recently made a white Black Panther. Yeah, we went over that too. I forget that guy's name, but there was like a white equivalent named White Tiger previously, but people don't like talking about that, I guess.
Yeah.
One of the super chatters mentioned Jack Quaid, and based on everything I've heard about Jack Quaid, you know, from my celebrity acting buddies, you guys see in my Instagram. But apparently, as long as you ask very nicely, Jack Quaid will do just about anything.
Anything you say.
And many others have been played by black actors, and no one gives a fuck. Tim
Nerds do.
Okay, again, and like you can say this can also apply to whitewashing. Most people don't give a fuck. It's people with the hobby who are like deeply entrenched in the hobby who care about this stuff.
Yes. Ragnarok is a garbage name. I'm gonna fucking press no on that. That's a badass name for an apocalypse.
No, he said game, not name.
Oh, well, in that case, Raptor, yes. Blade
Dyslexia strikes again.
Blade will come out the day the dinosaurs come back. Ooh, nice. Anyways.
Burton's Batman casts Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent.
Shouldn't have been
The plan
done.
was at one point to have him become Two-Face, but when it came time for Batman Forever, the studio recast him as Tommy Lee Jones.
Hey, I'll apply that ladies
I
from
will
the
say
Views
that
logic.
here's the thing. I haven't seen that Batman movie in a very long time, but I don't necessarily think it was conveyed that that was meant to be Harvey Dent.
I don't think it was conveyed that he was gonna be Two-Face, really.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you guys remember that View lady that was like, oh, whenever Darth Vader turned good, then they made him white. Well, guess what? I'm going to turn it back around on you, bitch. Whenever Harvey Dent turned evil, they made him white. What the heck? He was a good guy. He was black.
Hey, they fixed it, and that's
Did
all
they
that
really say that? Did they really fucking say that? Like,
Yes, there's
somebody on the View, she was
there's
talking
some
about.
idiot woman on NBC who said that. Yes.
So she was talking about the voice, like how it's James Earl Jones, and she's like, "Oh, he's a black guy. He's talking like a black guy for the whole movies, and then when he turns good at the end, they take off his mask and he's white."
Voice. Like, what is he talking about? Like, what is he talking about?
It's one of like the legendary stupid arguments. It's just
oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can tell she never watched fucking Star Wars in her life.
Let alone the prequels, because Anakin turned evil in Revenge of the Sith. He was still white, yeah. But anyways.
The case of blackwashing being reversed, and I think most people agree. I think Billy D. Williams would have been a better Two-Face than whatever it was the time.
That
mean, honestly, he probably would have been directed the same way.
That is conjecture
So,
right there.
Most people would want Tim Burton to return as director because he did for Batman Forever. Like, Ant, like, do you really think that the problem with Batman Forever is like Tommy Lee Jones playing Two-Face, or do you think that that if given a better script or story to work with, this legendary award-winning actor could make it work?
Yeah.
Well, a bit of history for the Batman movies. I after Batman Returns, Burton and the producers behind that movie had some disagreements because Batman Returns was kind of controversial for the time based on how dark the tone was. It was almost like too scary and inappropriate for kids. And Warner Bros. Wanted to take the next Batman movie into a more kid-friendly, pulpy direction, on par with the Adam West movies. And Tim and the producers didn't really see eye to eye. And, like 15 or 30 minutes within their meeting for the Batman movie, Batman Forever, they were like, yeah, Tim, you're fired. Get out of our office.
Yeah.
So clearly, this Batman movie is not Tim Burton's vision. Otherwise, we would have gotten Billy D as Two-Face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, like what I was getting at earlier, there's no guarantee that it would have been better. So, and unless you have a fucking crystal ball that lets you look into alternate universes, we just don't know.
Again, even if we got Billy D. Williams, like that would have been, we would have gotten the same performance as Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. Anyways,
just one more thing, like. If Billy D. Williams wasn't black, would you still care about his potential performance? Because I honestly don't think so. I don't think you'd give a fuck.
Yeah, he wouldn't know.
Doing in that movie. Both Aquaman and Namor were both race bent for their live action depictions, and most people celebrated.
Nobody gives a fuck about Namor in the MCU.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa, he looks like Aquaman. He passes for Aquaman at least in the 90s or early 2000s when he was rocking the hook hand.
Yeah.
Also, if you look at his, he was also blonde. He dyed his hair blonde, I believe, for the role.
So Kino, you think he passed well? You think he passed?
Yeah, I'd say he does an acceptable job. Yeah.
Did he?
The Namor thing, it's like I don't recall many people praising his role in that.
It was a terrible adaptation of the character.
They literally changed the entire aesthetic of Atlantis to be more Aztec, just
they
to help the
They didn't even call it Atlantis in Wakanda Forever. They called it something within Aztec mythology.
They called it something else.
He changed his name. He was like, I am Namor.
Instead of Namor, yeah.
I'm pretty sure even Victoria Alonso, who has her fingerprints all over Wakanda Forever, having a different pronunciation for Namor. It was like Namor or Namoa with some kind of accent.
I don't think he even calls anyone Imperious Rex all throughout the film, does he?
No, I don't think he even says that. No.
These reiterations. Perhaps because it is not as visible as, say, Heimdall. Namor especially was completely rewritten, with his new origin reflecting his new ethnicity, but also a way to distinguish him more from Aquaman, who had been introduced to audiences first.
You can just tell that
the comics, Aquaman and the Submariner were fucking already different characters. They just had the same, similar power sets. What are you talking about? The Submariner isn't even a superhero. He's
an anti-hero. Yeah, he's one of the earliest anti-heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, what is he talking about? He constantly fights other superheroes all the time.
Yeah.
We ran into him in Fantastic Four when he was trying to get with Sue Storm.
Something I find interesting is that one of his rogues gallery isn't just supervillains such as a Tiger Shark or Orca. It's also Stingray, a superhero.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Stingray's a good guy. Yeah.
Well, Stingray killed Steve Irwin, so.
Yeah, he's good.
Kino, real quick, because we're talking about this, Kino, I've been thinking about rebooting my comic review series. I stopped it because someone in Kino's live chat ruined it. But anyways, Kino, I was thinking about rebooting it. Would you be down for that?
I'll have to see. That could be fun. Just going over past issues, seeing what stands the test of time or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm currently busy with other stuff, but yeah, I'll keep you posted when I'm doing it again. But anyways, let's keep
One more thing I want to point out about this Namor adaptation. Yeah, I know we're stalling every time I'm talking. I'm sorry, guys. But I remember someone, I think it might have been Shine Comics, who was this very imperious YouTuber super, super opinionated, like big Marvel show, but he's also a big James Gunn hater. So you know how it is. But he posted like a full side by side comparison of comic Namor in his green speedo versus MCU Namor in his like winged boots or something.
Yeah.
Or winged sandals or whatever they were in the movie.
They were
And
attached to his
he's-
feet. Yeah, the wings were
And
attached
he's
to his
like,
feet, but go on.
and the one thing that really I took exception to was him saying this adaptation of Namor in the movies shows how much of a superb, exceptional filmmakers Ryan Coogler is. And I'm thinking, I think literally anyone would have adapted Namor in film completely different from the comics. Like, there's nothing special about Ryan Coogler's interpretation of Namor. Like, come on.
The problem is that, again, like, most people haven't even heard of Submariner. So if you like take that, like, if you completely change, like, give a more comic accurate version, people will probably end up loving that one better. It also completely omits like his antagonistic relationship with T'Challa specifically, and just having it with Shuri instead, which is retarded. Like that's like one of the worst decisions from the Black Panther 2, just killing off T'Challa, even though Chadwick Boseman him and his family didn't want them to do that.
I honestly think you could set Namor up way better on Wakanda Forever if you actually started off with him killing T'Challa.
I think it's outright like amoral what they did. They milked his death in order to try and get better box office, and they made the whole thing like just like playing off of that. And like Fast and Furious 7 sort of tinged on this to great success, and I think Marvel was trying to replicate that where they really play into it. Only this felt far more egregious and just like kind of sickening to me.
It's like every time I brought this up with my friends when Wakanda Forever was out, they practically crucified me.
Why?
Simply because, they have to celebrate Chadwick Boseman, or, they can't just have Namor kill him off. And I'm like, you realize that they mirrored T'Challa's death exactly the same way Chadwick Boseman died. Like, it almost feels like they're exploiting his death a little bit. Don't you realize how immoral that is?
Yeah, that's stupid. T'Challa is not literally Chadwick Boseman.
And they're literally, it got to the point where it seems like Marvel's actually trying to phase out the character of T'Challa because that's officially Chadwick's character. It will feel disrespectful to quote unquote replace him. Like, why do you think this way?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
All right, real quick, 3 super chats. This first one's a big one from King Beat for $10. Holy shit, thank you. Okay, to be honest, I have no idea why they race swapped Two-Face and then made him white again. That happened with Trask in the Fox X-Men movies too. If you're gonna race swap, why change it back to the OG? Yeah, so the first one, like Billy D. Williams to Tommy Lee Jones, it's because like studio executives meddled into it, and they like just different director. So there was like different casting overall. I would say like Tommy Lee Jones is a better draw than Billy D. Williams. That's my guess. And as for Trask in the Fox X-Men movies, well, it's not just that. It's not that they just race swapped him from a black guy to a white guy. It's that he grew in height because Peter Dinklage played Trask. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean the only sole dwarf in Hollywood?
Yeah, the one who kicked the
in
ladder
Days
down.
of Future Past. Yeah,
he kicked the stool down. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, the stool down. Yeah,
that pissed me off like royally. Honestly, I could have a whole tangent about this, but I'm just not gonna.
Where'd Backseater go?
Oh no!
Are you guys done yet?
Yeah, we're done.
Wow.
That was a long ass yawn.
Fuck! Anyways.
Help distinguish Namor further, which actually makes him stand out a little more from the crowd. This is different from what happened with Bane
Like
because
who is a diehard Namor MCU Namor Glazer? Like
We
this is the
just
first I'm hearing of
found
it.
him, and his name is Anthony Gramuglia.
This just shows how easily Ant is to impress. He's like, oh, it makes him stand out more from the crowd because they gave him a random ass ethnic background. It's like, oh wow, yeah, that really makes him stand out because they did their stupid Kamehameha wave introduction whenever they would see people in the fucking underwater suit.
This is like this is like any he has the same like fan base as any random ass Eternals character like that. What was his name? What was the Indian guy's name? Ringo.
Rango.
Rango. You mean my grandfather?
close. I'm
You
trying
mean my
to-
grandfather, Grandpa Rango?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it. Yeah.
It don't matter.
But
Kumail Nanjiani's character. Fuck it.
Who wasn't even Indian, FYI. He was Pakistani.
Well, they're basically the same. They always get along. Anyways, it's like these things have no depth. It's just like, oh, this guy is Aztec now, so he's really deep. It's like, no, it's not. You're just literally slapping a label on him, and that's all the depth that you've created with that.
Yeah. Anyways.
I mean, the only cool thing about that Namor was the fact he had a throne made from megalodon jaws.
Yeah.
And that was like it, really.
I'm picturing Ant playing Civilization 6, best Civ game. Come at me, bro. But Ant's like, oh yeah, Montezuma is really deep because he's Aztec. It's like Montezuma's out here sacrificing virgins to his god and trying to like stop Teddy Roosevelt. The fuck you mean, bro?
You could legit make Ant take a pause by you'd be like, hey Ant, I got this character, and you like explain their whole background and their fighting prowess and everything. He's just like, I don't know. It's kind of like samey. And then you're like, but Ant, what if I were to tell you that his great grandfather was a slave and he was black? You'd be like, oh, now he's much more interesting. Yeah.
Anyways, Anthony Gilgamesh.
Oh my.
Not even close.
who had elements taken away from his character to reduce him. Namor had more added. One change.
Okay. It's ethnic seasoning, y'all.
Never mind the fact that a bunch of major aspects about his character was taken away. But sure, Ant. Just because he's browner means that he's a more deeper character. Sure.
Yeah. Well, listen, the centuries worth of lore and mythos surrounding the Submariner, not interesting at all. There's no cool stuff to draw from there.
The fact that he's down with the brown,
The fact that he fought with Captain America, and that was in the comics, and that's completely omitted in the movies. Yeah, not important. Like this is
better.
It was reductive.
It's like whenever you see someone with a profile, with a Twitter profile, bio or whatever, and all they do is list their ethnicities, their sexuality, or
their
gender,
pronouns.
And then like they're fucking like, I don't know, some political leaning, and it's just like, that is my whole personality. It's like, well, that means that you're a very uninteresting person at that point.
You're very vapid.
Yeah, it actually kind of makes me annoyed the more I think about it, because he had a relationship with many other established Marvel characters before Black Panther. Like he's obsessed with Sue. He wants he has like a on and off relationship with the X-Men, and like he has a complex relationship with Doctor Doom. Like all that is thrown out the window.
Kino, you can't have that, because then he's reliant on lusting after a white woman. It's just, now his ethnicity is apparently central to his character.
He has a friendship with Hulk and Captain America.
Doc, Doc Strange.
None of those are like ever. We just got to drop those.
Yeah.
He can't be relying on.
He was part of the Illuminati at one point. He was actually one of the founding members.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, keep going.
The other was additive. The push to get Donald Glover to replace Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man prior to Andrew Garfield's casting in part inspired Brian Michael Bendis while he was writing Ultimate Spider-Man to create Miles Morales.
That's cap. That is 100% cap. I could say wholeheartedly that's cap. The idea for Miles Morales was, within Marvel before Obama was elected.
Yeah.
This is literally well known.
Yeah.
The Shawshank Redemption has race bending in there. Morgan Freeman's character, Red, is in the books Irish. Why didn't you call him Red? It's because his hair's red. He's a redhead in the book, which adds the ginger side again, I suppose. It's been going on for longer than we think it sounds
so,
like.
But to answer the question, and Red is a glup shitto. Like Morgan Freeman is an example of enhancing like a character nobody really cares about and making them more interesting. I agree, because Morgan Freeman, like, he is probably like the
he's a treasure.
He's the character you go into that movie like wanting to see because his narration style is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, but that's colorblind casting though. That's not the same as Ginger, Ginger side, because that's not really based off of colorblind casting, because you're always going like it's very clearly like targeting like black actors and actresses over other people who could very well take up the role and do it better.
Yeah, let's keep going.
No one lists Red, Morgan Freeman's character, along the other cases of Ginger side, do they? However, the origins
Because
of
it's not a modern
blackwashing are...
example. It's not a modern example. What are you talking about?
And can you please stick to movies that are less than 10 years old?
extremely different than you might expect. 1930s Ingagi is a pseudo-documentary about
No one gives a fuck.
Well, let's go to the timestamp, see what else is
what else? All right, so this is where we currently are. The noble origins of blackwashing. So this film, Blackula, aka the film no one really cares about, according to me on X, and Night of the Living Dead.
Blackula, the big legacy
How about
of
examining when blackwashing is criticized?
Okay, here we go.
It's only...
Damn it, I had a point to make about Blackula.
Go ahead.
The big legacy of Blackula, my friends, lies within the popular kids show The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Because if you guys don't remember, Dracula in that show was based on the performance in Blackula.
Okay.
All right,
Dracula scraped and lick.
People seem
he
to have
doesn't suck.
outrage
He scraped and lick.
For that sustains itself, or niche projects like Queen Cleopatra, the documentary. Now I discussed the Queen Cleopatra.
I wouldn't say that was a niche project. That was marketed to a shitload of people to enjoy, but I digress.
Documentary in length in the previous video.
Yeah, and it sucked. We've been over it twice now on my channel.
The past. But the reason why I don't like this documentary either is it does change history. And this comes to a key element. Changing real people. That's different. When you whitewash history or blackwash history.
That's not true. Somebody's grandma told them that they were black.
History, you're changing the events. Because Cleopatra came from the Ptolemy line, a line of Macedonian rulers appointed after the conquest.
So first off, in fiction, you can... I touched upon this in the beginning. You can play with like races in alt history stories, but you need to be upfront about it. So like that's where the Queen Cleopatra documentary went wrong. I agree with Ant. Like you can't present like a retarded like untrue theory, like debunked theory and roll with it. Yeah, but at the same time, like he's gonna use this as like say, well, fiction, it's okay, because like you can play around with it. Well, no, not really.
Nonfiction.
Not really when you're talking about like real life groups.
Yeah.
Of Egypt by Alexander the Great. And there's little chance that
Alexander the Great. You guys know that song?
No.
From Iron Maiden?
Oh, okay.
Because
Razor Rex probably knows about it.
Fucking Razor Rex. Kino, did you know he deleted his DeviantArt account?
Yeah, because he has his face posted up on it like a retard.
Yeah, he's the guy who posted it on there to begin with. Yeah. And also because DeviantArt lets you post AI pics now. But anyways.
Yeah. But the official headcanon reason within the Backseat Boys is after we extensively covered his DeviantArt account in his submissions as if we were going through the Louvre, he got so insecure about it that he nuked it. But it didn't stop me from obtaining screenshots of his infamous masterpiece. Oh, it's just so one of a kind, like so beautiful yet so mysterious. It rivals the likes of the Mona Lisa and Starry Night. Backseat knows what I'm talking about, right?
Anyway, Fox for $5. I don't buy for 1 second that Sue would cheat on Reed for this Namor. Or Namor. He ain't the Submariner. He's the sub Uber Eats driver. Send a glove and submarine.
Yeah,
I agree.
Damn.
Anyways,
I mean, if MCU Sue Storm cheats, I mean, she is married to Pedro Pascal, and she'd be cheating on him with Latino name. It would occur to me that this Sue Storm, she has a type.
Right. Also, this the same Anthony Gilgamesh who got wrecked by Remnant 777. Yeah,
yes, it is.
He lost hard.
Because Ptolemy's descendants didn't leave much room for outside genetics. Family trees should not loop back 2 generations, or spiral upon itself. And though it's not impossible that no genetics outside of the family came in...
Your family tree shouldn't have lasted fucking 2 generations.
Yeah. Ant's clan is evolutionary deadwood for humanity.
He agrees that it doesn't, that races need to be consistent, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. But he doesn't have that consistent standard for. He doesn't have that consistent standard for real life groups that are depicted. Like
apparently.
Okay.
It's unlikely Cleopatra got too many genes from outside her own family's gene pool. But by the way, she didn't look like Elizabeth Taylor either. See, that's also whitewashing.
Well,
because
looks way closer than that one bitch they got.
Much like in The Odyssey, people love to cast Northern Europeans as Mediterraneans.
And again, as Kino said, older example, and come on, this ain't relevant no more.
Also, a lot of Egyptians are kind of white passing. Sorry, Ant. Like, look at Rami Malek.
Well, sorry, not sorry.
They are very different looking. Don't do that. It was a big deal when The Godfather cast a primarily Italian cast to play Italian characters. That was revolutionary, and the studio had no faith in it. And that was only 50 years ago. And yet, to this day, the idea of an all-Greek cast for The Odyssey inspires as much confidence in the current studio system as Coppola's vision did in the 70s film studio, which is bizarre, I think. But also, unlike Cleopatra, Helen of Troy isn't real. She's not a real person. She's a fictional character.
Okay, Ant, but she is based around the beauty standards and the real people that existed, the Greeks. Like, are you going to tell me that, oh yeah, an African goddess isn't real, so we can cast her as a white woman?
Yep.
Or like in the case of gods, like white men? Obviously not, because that's like tonally inappropriate. Actually, I'm getting like Helen and Athena mixed up, but you get the point. Like, it's the same shit.
Yeah. Oh, we got, speaking of Marvel, we got one of Hulk's fans in the chat. I recently watched your EFAP video, Backseater. It was hilarious, and they destroyed you. Hulk, I'm still down to talk with Mahler and the others in a live chat debate. I'm still 100% down for that, and I'm still waiting for them to give the thumbs up. But they won't because they're cowards. Oh, yes, I just did. I just took a shot at EFAP. Tell Ant the truth about ancient Egyptians and how they had blonde hair, blue eyes, and watch his head explode. Exactly.
Arthur. It's like King Arthur. They represent real ideas, but are so far removed from the tangible history that they don't exist as real people.
This
it's like the Warrens.
This
yeah,
is retarded.
yeah, that's
like
cap
okay.
right there.
So,
Come on.
Like fantasy is an inherently like European idea, and what it is asking what
medieval
would happen.
Fantasy, at least.
Medieval fantasy, yeah. It's asking what would happen if the myths they believed in at the time were real. Like that's what like that is medieval fantasy in a nutshell, or just fantasy in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like wait,
yeah, Double A is like, wait, what? Yeah.
I guess we can like pause and talk about this a bit because when oh wait, hold on. I had to update this. But yeah, like take something like Shakespearean, like Macbeth, right? That is a primarily European story that relies on European history for it to make sense. It can't tell you. It doesn't want to go into super deep detail into the setting because it's something you already know and are familiar with. But if somebody were to take a different spin on it, like a Japan, for instance, or an Asian studio, and run with it by making in the style of like samurais, like before that, there like Akira Kurosawa did that with Throne of Blood, and it was fantastic. But like they never pretended to be Europeans.
Yeah. Yeah, or like fucking when the Seven Samurai became Magnificent Seven. They turned everyone cowboys, yeah.
Yeah, that's not whitewashing, that's taking inspiration.
Yeah. Anyways.
The Conjuring films. But again, that being said, though, we take liberties all the time with real people. Like, look at the Conjuring films. The Warrens in those films are nothing like the real con artists. I mean, alleged demonologists or whatever. But the big thing appears to be comic books, cartoons, and fairy tale characters, especially female characters. Men, they get a little bit of a leeway. Women, not so much. A lot of people will point to Snow White and Ariel as particular examples of blackwashing. Let's start with Ariel.
Disney was very proud 3 years ago when they announced that Halle Bailey would be playing Ariel. They're happy to push inclusivity and diversity in their films. They were proud when they said that we're not going to cast Ariel as a white girl. We're going to cast her as a black woman. So when this tweet got around, people very much questioned what disgusting film is actually talking about. And obviously, the backlash has been real and it has been powerful when it comes to YouTube.
A lot of people point to the original fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen and argue that Ariel is white in that story. So therefore, she should be white in all iterations. But to that I say, when was Ariel in the original story? You see, the story focused on a Little Mermaid. It didn't specify her name was Ariel. That might be a little bit of a cheat there, but I get what you're trying to say, but that changes already.
Shut the fuck up, retard. It's based off of the Disney version. Like, she's very clearly pale.
Yeah,
skin.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Like
this is something I should have fucking mentioned when we did Ant's fucking Snow White video, and it's one of my big regrets. In that video, I should have, Ant was basically going down the road like, well, they can't adapt the original Hans Christian Andersen or whoever the fuck wrote that story. I don't give a fuck. They can't adapt the original Snow White fairy tale because it's too short. They need to take creative liberties. I should have said, we're not talking about that, and we're talking about Disney literally remaking their damn movie. They're basing off their own version, not the fairy tale here.
If there was like a dark skinned character that was never specified to be black, he would be fucking losing his mind if a white person was casted for it. Like this is just something I don't understand about people like Ant making these arguments that appearance doesn't matter for a character. It absolutely does. About as much, I would argue, about it like for a popular character that people are fans of, their appearance matters just as much as their personality and whatever archetype they have. Because personality and archetype, that's not enough for a character. That's an incomplete character. I'm sure take New Warriors for like the woke New Warriors that everyone hated.
Yeah.
They're 90% of the hate towards them were their designs.
Designs, yeah.
When you completely change a popular character's appearance, you are changing them. You are like changing the like what makes them tick.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned Keith Ant getting mad over the possibility of a dark-skinned character being cast as a white guy. I'm surprised Ant hadn't said anything about the Wuthering Heights adaptation from earlier this year, because they casted that guy from Euphoria as the character Heathcote, even though in the books Heathcote is really described as having like very darkish skin and dark hair. Sorry, not Heathcote, Heathcliff.
All right, hold on. 2 super chats from Fox again for $2. Ant looks like an evil version of Ian from Smosh.
Oh my gosh, he's right.
Ant has no room to call others con artists.
That's true. Hey Ant, when's your book coming out? We're still waiting on that. Yeah. Somehow this isn't as cringe as Ant's video advocating for fan service in anime. Oh, he made a video about that? I didn't know he did that. People like Ant, Soyrek, and Birdbrain will use the people that they hate as an explanation for their own stupidity. Their disinformation and dishonesty and disingenuous statements are bad! That's why Soyrek blocked me on his YouTube, because he doesn't like when my comments challenge his views and his dishonesty. Exactly.
Axton Zero, $2. Is Ant related to King David making that argument?
I don't know who that is.
Bro, we got the goat himself, LARP Laws. Not Laws, LARP Laws. I'm not sure if you guys know who that is.
No.
Great YouTuber who retired.
Wait, hold on. Isn't that the guy who reviews all those cartoons?
So, like, he's the guy who did, like, the dubbing of, like, regular show, and like, SpongeBob with weed.
I think I've seen those videos, yeah. Anyways, what about him?
Oh, no, like, his LARP, a LARP account is in the comments. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
Made their film so far removed from the original fairy tale that it's impossible to argue that the nameless mermaid in that story is really the same character as Ariel. Their motivations for becoming people are different. What
of the Little Mermaid with Disney, they just lazily remade the story, but just made Ariel black and made it and made it worse because it's not animated. But live action, which makes the songs like visually more unappealing. It doesn't match what you're seeing on the screen.
Yeah. They're really trying to convince our stupid audience that blackwashing for fishes is good. That's where we're at now. Yes.
Go from white to Japanese, there's no issue. Go from white to black, all of a sudden people lose their minds, even though they're completely different characters who are nothing alike each other. Because this is Disney changing the character they produced. And you might say, well, it's disrespectful of Howard Ashman, the creative.
No, that's not why people give Ponyo a pass. It's because there's actual creativity involved, whereas in the live action Little Mermaid there isn't. If you had made an all black cast, that follows a black mermaid, like nobody would care. Like people would actually probably praise it.
He's genuinely this brain dead. I wonder if Ant would defend Ultraman, the ultimate hero. Probably.
Little Mermaid and all that, but I would say
he would defend Rape Man.
Oh
if you know who that is.
Yeah.
Howard Ashman pushed Disney to add Jamaican crabs in the movie. I don't think he cares about the ethnicity of the fictional character as long as the story is there. He worked on stage. They recast people all the time as established roles.
Theater's a different
That's not
culture
too unusual
than movies and nerd shit, and
for them.
It's always whataboutism. That's their only argument I've noticed. It's just what about this? What about this? What about this?
What about this thing that nobody cares about? Yeah.
And also, I noticed that he doesn't explain, because his main argument throughout this section seems to be, well, in the original fairy tale, the Little Mermaid doesn't refer to any specific character, and they don't appear for too long of the runtime. But that has nothing to do with like their appearance. That has nothing to do with what they actually look like. I don't know like what Ant's trying to say here, unless in the original fairy tale they explicitly said how the Little Mermaid looked. That's the important part here, not how long they were in the story for.
It also doesn't work for the Disney version because Ariel, we know what Ariel looks like in the animated version.
Yeah, you can't undo something that's been like so fucking ingrained in the fucking cultural mind for like many years, all because you want some black bitch in there. Yeah. Anthony's an idiot. He's trying so hard to make the live action justify by saying it takes place. The setting is explicitly in the Caribbean, often implied to be a Caribbean island kingdom. Yeah, pretty much.
It was a production of Othello that inverted the races of all the characters. In Othello, the character Othello is a Moor, who is a person of color in a society that is primarily white. However, in one stage production, they inverted it. Othello was the only white character, and everyone else is black. On stage, they do this kind of stuff all the time, and nobody bats an eye. In fact, it's just kind of accepted. There are no Jamaican
funny
crabs in the Hans Christian Andersen story. Because ultimately, who cares? Does Ariel's race meaningfully change anything in the
Disney fans care because that ain't Ariel.
Okay, so we can also reverse the logic on him. If it doesn't matter, why did you change it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's like what John said. The appeal to trivialities goes both ways. Yeah.
And this is probably my biggest gripe with his hypocrisy. You know for a fact that Anthony doesn't think being white and black in the real world, especially in America, are interchangeable.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, like that's so if a black character, if someone who's black has such a different experience from me being white, then that alone justifies like keeping characters white because they're white. You're making a black character into a white, or making a white character into a black character.
Yeah.
Story. Like, mermaids are fantasy creatures. Their bodies should be imploding from water pressure that far down. They should be drowning without having a chance to call for air support.
It's called magic. They're magic, and
he's lost the plot. He's lost the plot. He's crashing out now. That's the only explanation I got. However, in cartoons versions, the setting is wildly regarded as a Mediterranean European coastal kingdom, possibly near Italy, a white-populated region. Ant is just ashamed being white. No actual person have to downplay their own ethnicity and make the argument about it. I've known ants to have white guilt for a long time.
The vibranium comet didn't have to hit Wakanda. It could have hit any other anywhere else, like outside the continent of Africa. And like you could have like you could justify a non-white, a non-black Black Panther. You can play this game endlessly. You either need to be consistent or just drop the issue altogether.
Yeah, preferably the latter. What's up, Jacob? Speaking of racism, Marvel's racist because they're not greenlighting enough black people shit now. Yeah. Boo-hoo.
It's almost as though the audiences they're pandering to aren't giving it the time of day. They don't give a fuck.
Wah, wah.
They should be built like manatees, not like fish people with skinny waists. These stories are not grounded in reality. They're totally fantasy. So who cares about the specifics?
Why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care about like the fact that we should not care about the specifics?
Why do you care about whitewashing, Amp?
Yeah. The logic is the same one that John Campea used when he came up with his defense for his idea for a race-swapped Link in the Legend of Zelda movie. Oh, jeez.
Such thing as a real mermaid, or what a real mermaid looked like. Snow White, though, people argue, is different because Snow White's skin tone is meaningful. It's brought up. Skin is white as snow, right? But I would argue two things. The first one being Snow White's good nature is more important than her skin color.
Come on!
Okay, come on. Like, that's not no. If the story makes a point to reference the color of her skin, that does make it important. And I'm sorry, but that's how the story goes. You can't like sweep that under the rug.
No, says I.
Dude, I've heard Ant say some brain dead shit. that
He
face
just doesn't
was
like
brain
white
dead
people.
fuck.
He's like a self-hating white guy.
He
I don't know
does.
what to say.
I'm telling you, I've been saying this from the rooftops for about a year now. Ant hates Ant has white guilt.
If you go through these, if you go through such mental gymnastics to justify, like changing a character's race, like I'm sorry, Ant. Like I think you need to, I think you need to see a counselor, like to tell you that's okay to be white. Like
Also,
I would not use these same mental gymnastics to change an established black character into being something else. Like I'm sorry.
Also, all you memers out there, take this screenshot right here. You won't regret it. Anyways.
Right, you're good to go. But secondly, Snow White is bad for a very different reason people don't talk about. The story was not a step forward representation. Its cast is primarily white. It actually pushed representation back decades.
Shut the fuck up! Like the sidekicks were not all whites.
Yeah. Campius said that elf is a race. I'm not kidding. Well, okay, it is in like the fantasy parlance, but like, I mean, okay, in modern day lingo, yeah, we wouldn't define race that way. We would define them as a species, but in fantasy parlance, it is a race. We just, anyways, you know what I'm saying, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, ask little actors how they feel about Disney's Snow White. They're gonna tell you a whole.
Oh, okay, so it's bad that fucking Peter Dinklage prevented actual dwarfism people from playing the Seven Dwarfs, but it's a-okay when the brown bitch steals the role from the white bitch.
Like this also isn't mutually exclusive. You can be mad at Peter Dinklage and be mad at the casting decisions. Like, well,
yeah.
No, like it's all one thing. Like actually, it's bad casting all around.
Yeah.
Like, what does he mean?
Well, is he gonna rag on Peter Dinklage here, or
Dick leakage?
see.
Dick leakage?
Dick leak, Peter Dick leakage. Ayo. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
Snow White, rather than cast little people as the dwarves, inserted these CG uncanny valley monstrosities for them.
Yeah, guess what?
That was done
people
for
who hated...
progressive reasons.
Yeah.
It was done for very, very backwards reasons, and it set casting dwarf actors back nearly almost a whole decade because it had a ripple effect not just in Snow White but for a majority of projects going on at the time. Like Apple TV's time ban is meant to have dwarves like Tara Jolie from Little Women.
Anyone would react to fucking Rachel Zegler, yeah.
I 100% agree, yes.
Rachel Zegler, and y'all in Kino's chat can quote me on this. Rachel Zegler is objectively evil. I swear to God.
She should have played the evil queen.
That actually would have been crime against verisimilitude, according to Jacob. Yeah.
I know people within Hollywood, and I know actors who straight up just told me, yeah, Rachel Zegler really looked down upon. It is not just because of how much of a bitch she is on Twitter. It's her actions during the SAG-AFTRA strike that rubbed her the wrong way.
I should be
with a lot of
paid
people.
every minute that film is on the service. Yeah.
For them. This is, of course, due to Peter Dinklage's comments criticizing the practice of only hiring little people as dwarves. Now, his intention was to argue Hollywood should cast little people in any role. But Disney saw that and went, okay, we cast little people as dwarves before, but now we can't hire little people ever. Okay, good idea. So Peter Dinklage is not well liked among little actors because of that reason.
Fuck you, Peter Dinklage.
Hey, it's
Hornswoggle!
It's Hornswoggle!
That's real heat, too. Fucking hate him. He costed so many people in my community jobs.
I swear to God, Ant is throwing in more wrestling clips because earlier, okay, first of all, bye AA. I know that. I swear to God, Ant has got to be putting in more wrestling clips and videos because there was one video where he put Sting in there. We got Swoggle here, and then we had the A&E AEW clipper. Like, I swear to God, Ant has got to be doing this just for me. Like, oh, Baxter, I'm so sorry. He has all that wrestling shit you like. I swear to God, he's got to be doing that. Anyway,
I actually have a whole list on my phone here of just names and names of dwarf actors, just to show you have more than enough to cast 7 dwarfs. How you guys know that movie Mirror Mirror?
Yeah, it
was from like 2010. It's like, yeah, a notoriously bad movie, but you know what that movie did? It casted actual dwarves as the 7 dwarfs. Like, it's not hard. Disney, you're a $1 billion company. You could do it. You already have like 1 dwarf actor as the voice of Grumpy already. Just could have hired 6 more. Like, come on.
So the same woman that a producer from Hollywood flying to New York to tell her to shut up.
Yep, that is her.
All right, Kino, what next
you don't-
section looks good?
You don't hate blackwashing, you hate black people.
Oh,
Okay.
this will be good because fucking acolytes in here. Here we go. Now I get to flex my stuff here.
People who complain about blackwashing don't just stop when it's blackwashing. They complain when black people appear in media ever.
I definitely had fun playing a.
Okay.
Citation.
He's gonna play this clip. He's this drinker clip. We all know it. It's one of his greats.
Particularly challenging game of spot the white guy with this trailer, because damn man, this one shows enough to fulfill Disney's entire DEI quota for the next 2 fiscal years. For example, check out this collection of Jedi Padawans and see if you can identify the one demographic that's mysteriously left out.
Take Riri Williams, for example.
Rand. I mean, sorry, Rand. And what's the problem here? Like, you do the exact same thing. Like, you've been doing this exact same thing for half your video. You've been bitching and complaining about like the races of like the cast not being correct. Like, what's wrong? Why is Drinker not allowed to do that?
Turnabout's fair play, motherfucker.
Ant has never seen a movie from like before 2008, obviously.
What are you talking about, Briscoe? I've seen Blackula. It's a very important film.
Also, like, are we really going with the people hate Riri Williams, so like they also just hate black people in general?
Yeah,
Riri Williams is a terribly written character people don't hate her for being black. They hate that writers use her as being black as a shield. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I believe we saw a video like last year or so. Even Ann admits that he doesn't like Riri Williams all that much. Just not for the reasons that we don't like her. He has his own separate reasons of not liking her.
Oh my God, Kino, you should have been there. That whole fucking video, he was jumping through hoops. Holy fuck.
Riri used to be short for retard.
Yeah, Riri Williams. Anyways.
Creation of Brian Michael Bendis after the success of Miles Morales, who, by the way, also faced backlash when he first appeared. Riri is a young black girl who replaces...
Yeah, he still does. Can we please just stop it with this shit where people like Miles now? They don't.
He's one of those characters. I can't help but to feel that Miles would have been just one of those characters where, if it wasn't for the Spider-Verse movies, he probably would have been left behind in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
If you were to show give any other established black character, like even if they're obscure, like the time of day, like Miles Morales would be irrelevant.
Imagine if they gave the same rub Marvel gives Miles to, say, Blue Marvel, for example.
Yeah. Kino, you want to know what Miles is like, basically?
Just vanilla Peter.
Yeah. Well, Kino, I was gonna say this. So, Kino, I was texting Evan about this. Now, Kino, I'm gonna condense it because I don't want to keep us here too long, but I was texting Evan about this infamous press conference that Triple H made recently. Kino, if you don't know, Triple H is currently like the head of creative over at WWE, right? Ever since Vince stepped down, right? So Triple H recently made a press conference, like, in the lead up to, like, SummerSlam. He basically made sense, like, oh, the guys who work harder get pushed. If you're frustrated, you just gotta work harder. And so he basically said that. And I was like, meanwhile, Johnny Gargano, who's another wrestler, he's being forced to do this stupid planking shit, all because Triple H thinks it's funny, and thus he's not allowed to work harder, as in he's not allowed to wrestle in the ring. Even though Triple H, of all people, should know that Johnny was a super hard worker back when Triple H was the head of NXT, which is basically the developmental division of WWE, where they treat their up-and-comers where they move them up to Raw and SmackDown.
And his run in NXT during that time was fucking phenomenal, I will say.
But the reason he's not getting a push anymore, and a push is basically where they get, time in the ring to wrestle. The reason he's not getting a push anymore is because he's not someone like Cody, Roman, Punk, Liv, or Io, so he might as well not even exist. Meanwhile, you know who is getting a push in the WWE right now, Kino? You know who is?
Who?
Fucking Danhausen, who's a one-note comedy character. Baron Corbin, who's getting the IC belt. Paige, who's getting the women's tag team belt, and Kevin Owens, who's getting a title shot for the WWE belt. And those latter three have done nothing but just show up recently. So that's basically who Miles is. Miles is just the guy who just shows up and they give him an undeserved push, all because one of those favorites of the head guy that I mentioned earlier. He's just there because the writers like him. He shows up, does nothing of importance, and they give him a big ass push anyway. That's basically who. But that's my thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But anyways.
And one note I want to contribute to your TED Talk, Backseater. The entire reason Danhausen even got signed to begin with is because he's best buddies with CM Punk.
That one's exactly. There you go.
So he's kind of a nepo hire, or favorite hire, you should say.
And it's all fitting because, as we all know, Triple H is there because of nepotism. Because Kino, if you don't know, he's Vince McMahon's stepson. But anyway,
son-in-law.
Yeah,
because he marries Stephanie McMahon, the daughter of Vince McMahon.
Okay. Specifically, Tony Stark, after she builds her own suit with stolen technology at MIT.
Yeah.
Look at that fucking retarded suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what she looks like a Concord character here, don't she?
It's funny how Ant admits that Riri, or he correctly acknowledges that Riri stole it, yet Birdbrain, that retard, he still to this day denies that she stole it, when she did in both the MCU and the comics.
Yeah.
She looks like a special needs fucking astronaut or fucking cosplayer or some shit.
Yeah. Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
At MIT. For about
to be fair, CM Punk had TDS before TDS was even a thing.
Yeah.
Even back in the mid 2000s, he was telling people on message boards to kill themselves if they don't support gay marriage.
All right. Yeah. True.
Williams was Iron Man after Tony Stark was put into a coma by Captain Marvel in Civil War Part 2. Riri's comic is not good. I covered it in an older video and went into more detail there.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Kino, he was way too easy on a book he supposedly hated.
The
first video I actually agreed with him on something.
He only hates it. My guess is he only hates it because Riri is actually not a popular character, so he can get away with just throwing her aside, even though he doesn't really know what's really bad about her. But let's get back to it, because we're only halfway through.
Backlash was disproportionate to what the comic actually did. You see, characters replace heroes constantly. Hell, Riri wasn't even the first black person to replace Tony as Iron Man.
Yeah, this is
Some would
retarded.
argue.
This is retarded for a couple reasons. First,
Kino,
Tony
you're
didn't-
roboting again.
First of all, quiet. First off, Tony didn't die when Rhodey replaced him. It was always
a temporary status quo shake-up to breathe life into the book. Yeah.
He was always going to come back, and also, Riri Williams is just Miles 2.0. Like he's incredibly, and it wasn't built up at all. To be clear,
Yeah.
like Tony didn't know Riri. They don't really have like to this day they still don't really have a personal relationship to speak of.
Yeah.
They so her just replacing him out of the blue is just complete bullshit. There are so many other characters who could have replaced him instead.
And they heavily
Dr. Doom replaced it for a while.
Yeah, and they heavily pushed her as being his replacement. They were putting all their eggs in her basket, and surprise, surprise, when she flopped, they had to reverse it. They honestly wanted this to be a big ass deal.
Yeah. Also,
I feel like it could have been. Oh, I'm sorry, Kino.
Also, when you had legacy characters replacing other established characters like Dick Grayson
as
Batman and like Bucky as Captain America, people didn't like those decisions either. They wanted the real ones to come back.
And keep in mind, those were the better ones, but I digress. Anyways. Oh, let's keep going.
That Rhodey, War Machine, was better suited to take up the mantle because he had been there longer. That, of course, said, Rhodey had replaced Tony Stark as Iron Man in the past. Tony was being blackwashed, though. This is an original character who briefly stood in Tony Stark's shoes. This is much like how back in the 80s, Monica Rambeau replaced
what he's trying to accomplish with this, because these are legacy characters, not race swaps.
Yeah, he's being way too liberal with the term race swap there, yeah.
I'll be right back. I gotta charge my phone.
Alright. Should I keep going, or whatever?
Yeah, you can keep going. Don't worry. I'm not missing anything.
Alright, let's keep going here, fellas. I'm so hungry, I need fucking waffles to get through this shit, dog.
Bell, who was Captain Marvel at the time after he died of cancer. Unlike Tony Stark, though, Marvel has never come back. So when Rambeau replaces him,
he died.
That's it, he's gone. And Marvel also, like Tony Stark, had an established peer who had seniority over Monica Rambeau, who was, like War Machine, almost groomed to replace him. And that character was Ms. Marvel.
I wouldn't say Carol was groomed to replace Marvel. I'd say it just happened out of sheer spontaneity because she proved to be more popular than him. Wouldn't you say, guys?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish fucking dipshit here would quit looking off to the side and reading off his fucking...
I don't know why he does this. Does Andy just have, like... I don't know what he'd call.
He's reading off a script. If you can't fucking goddamn just, like, say what the fuck you want to say, you're saying too fucking much.
Ant needs like a Joe Biden teleprompter, basically. Like, he needs the screen to also be the camera and the fucking script all in one. Yeah.
He needs to just shorten what the fuck he wants to say down, like, a lot.
Or fucking hell, Ant, forgo recording yourself like this and just have the video just be clips and images and shit. You do not need to show yourself on camera if you are incapable of keeping your eyes focused on the camera. I can get away with this because I'm not looking into the camera. I'm looking at my screen. I'm watching you. But with you, there's no excuse. You are not looking at anything else, or you should not be looking at anything else.
I'm back, by the way.
Needs to be on that White House cocaine. What, Kino?
I'm back, by the way.
All right. So Kino, just catch you up. He made the point that, like, oh, it was fine when Carol, a white woman, replaced Marvel, a white man, because Carol was groomed to be his successor. And I said, no, that more so just happened spontaneously because Carol just proved to be more popular than him, basically. Plus, most comic book storylines were written on the fly as they went. They weren't really planned and advanced at all. I seriously doubt the folks from Marvel were like, hey, let's introduce this really cool new character that we hope can get over with the audience, only to then replace that character with an alternative. Like, well, motherfucker, why didn't you just introduce the replacement character to begin with? That's retarded. Anyways. It's like what people think the upcoming Lanterns show is going to be like. Hey, let's introduce Hal Jordan just so we can replace him with Jon Stewart. Yeah.
I hope that leak is not true. That's such bullshit. It is.
Yeah, well, we'll wait. We'll
It'd
have to
be
wait.
so unfortunate.
Kino, we'll just have to wait and see because I'm so tired of Scoopers fucking lying. But I digress.
Carol Danvers. By the time, nobody cared. That isn't until decades later.
Yeah, because she was more popular back then and more beloved back then than she is now.
I prefer Monica Rambeau as the legacy character for or the one taking up the mantle for Captain Marvel, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'd say that my opinion, Carol can be Ms. Marvel, Cap Marvel can die with the name, let DC use the name, and then Monica can just be like
she's Spectrum
Photon or Spectrum, either or. That's my opinion, anyways.
When Carol, after decades of struggling, following major setbacks in her character, takes the mantle of Captain Marvel.
And it was dumb.
And then people got mad that Monica Rambeau wasn't Captain Marvel anymore, even though she hadn't been Captain Marvel for decades at this point.
Worked better then.
And there were multiple other Captain Marvels between Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers. Seems a little hypocritical, right? Hell, people complained if...
Wow, Ant, I can't believe you're getting mad at people going to bat for the black woman. I can't believe it. Ironic. Ant needs Joe Biden's Colombian cocaine, yeah.
Dwarves or elves are black in the Rings of Power, even though dark elves have been a thing in fantasy.
You're not in Tolkien's fantasy.
Dark elves are not literally black. You fucking, oh my god.
Yeah, they're more like a dark silver, ain't they? Yeah.
For decades.
From the same global entertainment industry that gave us Black Cleopatra, Black Little Mermaid, Black Anne Boleyn, Latina Snow White, Black Female Dwarves, Black Elves, Black Female Viking Queen, Jarl Haken, and Black Snape. We get Black Helen of Troy, who is originally from Sparta, and I would expect this from the rest of Hollywood, but not from Chris Nolan.
And one of the most popular D&D stories ever published features a dark elf who faces racism. It all seems kind of hypocritical, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, whatever you say, pal. All right, Kino, since we're basically... Oh, I just remembered he mentioned the Acolyte, but he completely skipped over it. What a fucking idiot. Okay, what's the next section we want to tackle here, y'all?
How about we stick to the leftwood rage if whitewashing happened with Blade, I guess.
All right, here we go.
But that's blackwashing. The internet would argue it's a thing Hollywood does nonstop, and that if whitewashing happened, the left would harp on it nonstop. What if I told you whitewashing still happens? In fact, it happens consistently, constantly, and people just ignore it. Want a popular example? Blade. When people get criticized for not liking black superheroes, they always go, well, I love Blade. I would rage if they ever cast a white Blade. If they whitewash Blade, I'd be upset.
Yeah,
no form of swapping to me is acceptable, whether it be freaking Batman or whether it be Blade. I don't want Blade to be cast as a white guy, because Blade is a black guy. Has always been. But my haters never mention this. Notice it. I've said it on every single video I've ever made, all the way back to 10 years ago. I've been 12 years on this platform. Every time I've condemned blackwashing, which is what happens 99% of the times now anyways, but every time I did, I always said I also wouldn't swap the other way around. They never say it.
Well, guess what happened?
Who are you? What are you doing here? I'm Peter Parker.
In the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, Blade appears as a substantially lighter-skinned character.
What?
Look at Peter Parker and him right next to
Okay, I mean,
What
he
the
still
fuck
looks...
are you talking about?
Still black though. That looks black to me, and
That
I
looks
don't know about
pretty
you.
black.
Like
It looks
maybe
pretty
he's
black given the art
literally,
style, yeah.
maybe he's literally colorblind, but that looks pretty black to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
Look
talking
like
about?
Okay, so
Look
what?
like
So what? They used like a lighter skin tone for the guy. So all right, well he's still pretty black. Like you'd have to be like an idiot to think they made him white or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this
what
is
do they want him
clearly
to
not-
look like? Fucking oil slick?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is clearly
He's
not...
almost the same skin.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
he's almost the same skin tone.
Chat,
Yeah, these are
chat,
totally
are you
the
seeing
same.
this? Are you seeing Peter
Oh my
Parker and Blade right now?
god!
And what are you
I think he's
talking
actually.
about?
What?
I think he's actually colorblind. I think.
Oh
I'm
my
against
god!
And
What?
What are we doing, buddy?
Ah!
skin tone as Peter Parker. Now, I can argue that both Blade is a vampire, so being unnaturally pale is a feature of vampires, but Blade...
Oh, hang on, here's one, and he actually looks darker here, you know what I'm saying? So if anything, I'd say the problem comes down to they're inconsistent with the colorings.
Snipes in the movie,
Yeah.
but the movie came after cartoon version
Yeah.
of Blade. So he fucked up. He got his timeline wrong.
Yeah.
Because,
Also, sorry, go ahead.
Like a lot of people don't know this, but Blade was originally British, and now he's American. Wesley Snipes was so popular in the role that this is like a original movie synergy. He was so great as the role that they made the original Blade more like Wesley Snipes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But and also, Ant, this is a fucking live action movie, not a cartoon where you can like adjust shit based on like, you know, like what looks good. It's like if you cast Wesley Snipes, like this is what you get. You can't exactly change the tone of a character's skin in a live action movie like you can in a cartoon by like, you know, fit color fill-ins, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, they did adjust his nationality. I mean, ever since Wesley Snipes played the role, people always had the notion that Blade was American. Hell, if they went through that Mahershala Ali movie, he's American. I mean, so who's to say he wouldn't have been American in the MCU movie?
Right. And to everyone in the chat, yes, this is what I and the rest of the boys put up with on the goddamn weekly.
So what's going on? John Semper, the showrunner for the 90s cartoon, is a black man. This plays into a concept called colorism, or bigotry among...
So wait. Just so we're clear, because Ant doesn't understand the time frame, like that makes like the black showrunner for the cartoon like a self-hating black guy. Excuse me?
Yeah, apparently, this is something he knows a bit about Ant. He doesn't know how fucking time works. Kino, you want to know what he literally said in that damn Knights of Guinevere video? You weren't there for this, but like, you want to know what he said?
What'd he say?
He, no fucking joke, said that Tangled, you know, the Rapunzel movie from Disney, Tangled was an inspiration for revolutionary girl Utna.
What?
He said that, like, without a hint of irony.
Oh my god.
Yes.
People of color against darker-skinned members of the community. Darker-skinned actors will often play villains or supporting characters, while lighter-skinned actors will be the leads. Compare Will Smith.
Who said... oh my god. I need that fucking clip from... I'm sorry, Kino. I need that clip from like the Real Housewives of Atlanta where you got all the black women sitting around going, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? You know?
Like,
what were you saying?
And have you never heard of Sidney Poitier or Carl Weathers? They're fucking dark. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, other than like other than that, hey, like trying to imply that light-skinned black people are not only not necessarily black, they don't have the same experience as other black people, but that they benefit, but that they didn't actually earn their roles. Because if that's actually what you're trying to imply, that's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, Will Smith got attacked for like his 2021 film King Richard for playing Serena Williams' dad, but they're both black.
Yeah.
Like, Will Smith is just as black as Serena Williams' dad. Like, he played the role. Like, he's a good fit for the role.
Anyway.
So I guess like what Ant's trying to say here is like, to address what he's trying to say here, like colorism is a thing, but it stems from jealous black people, like attacking other black people. That's the
and John
problem.
Roca.
Yeah, kids, Kino, you know who that guy is, right?
Who? John Roca?
John Roca.
Oh, John Roca?
Yeah.
He was complaining about colorism on one of his streams with Winston.
Yeah, John Roca is a Latino, but he's like a really light-skinned Latino, and he hates the fact that he's white passing. Yeah.
Oh boy.
John Crappia always fucking talks about that shit too.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the fucking shit here.
To Grace Jones. See the difference? which one's the main headline star. But the original movie,
Will
Blade,
Smith, because he actually has like
star
mainstream appeal.
power.
Like
Yeah.
this is such a weird like line of argumentation from him. Like, does he honestly think that Will Smith doesn't have any like talent out, like doesn't have anything to bring to the table besides despite his light black skin? Like, what is he talking about?
I don't know. Someone in your chat said this, Kino. But Kino, I think fucking Ant has a white savior complex, probably.
Hey, well, that's what my thumbnail implies. So
yeah,
they're getting the right message.
Also, I found the clip here, y'all. Exactly. Anyways.
Doesn't whitewash Blade, right? Wesley Snipes is a very dark-skinned man. Well, no, they don't whitewash Blade, but there is whitewashing in Blade. Whistler, played by Chris Christopherson, is an iconic character from the original Blade trilogy. He also appeared in that 90s cartoon of Spider-Man as a similar role. So you may assume this character is in the comics, because no one read any Blade comics before the late 90s. Well, he is not. While Blade's writer David S. Goyer and Spider-Man showrunner John Semper both claimed they made Whistler and the other guy took the character, the reality is that Whistler did not appear in the comics.
Okay.
Blade's mentor in the comics is Jamal Afari, who is not white.
Yep.
Prior to the first Blade
I've never
film,
heard of him.
Jamal.
So why should I? So this is a glup shido. So why should I care?
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't say this is a whitewash or a race swap or whatever. I'd say this is them adapting this guy out and replacing him with an original character, which is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, this is like pretty stupid. This is less egregious than like Heimdall's race being swapped. So I don't know what you're complaining about, and.
You can argue it's egregious in a different way, but whatever. You can't call this a race swap, Ant. You just can't.
Jamal had only appeared in one comic.
Well, no shit, they replaced him then.
Marvel Preview.
Is that
like oh yeah, let's put in this one guy who's only around for one issue across Blade's decades of stories.
And keep in mind that these are the Marvel Preview these are the obscure like Marvel comics that are like black and white.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
These are. I'm pretty sure those.
Even comic heads like don't really know these.
Yeah.
I think the Marvel Preview series is sort of like a testing ground on what characters are popular or what kind of characters people gravitate towards.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like Showcase Presents. Yeah.
And if they like a certain character, then yeah, give them a full series. Sure. Of course, it will change up certain aspects of them from the preview aspects into their own series, but yeah, tweak some stuff. That's a good way of putting it.
Issue 3.
How Melissa just said everything that Ant should have said in like one fucking sentence.
Also, hail John.
Good God, we're only this far into the video.
Yeah, John, you're not gonna believe what Ant just said earlier about fucking Blade. Now, John, you've seen the '90s Spider-Man cartoon, right?
Most of it, yes.
Okay, so this is the episode with Blade in it, right? So there's Blade right there.
So wait, John, real quick. Would you say that Blade looks black here?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Like, either that or like I would say like Hispanic, like heavily tanned, maybe, but
get a load of what fucking Ant says here.
In the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, Blade appears as a substantially lighter-skinned character. Look at Peter Parker and him right next to each other. He's
substantially lighter skin.
Almost the same skin.
Different.
This looks like homos.
Almost the same skin color.
Does he understand what lighting is?
Yeah, apparently not.
Two shades here.
Parker. Now you can argue that both Blade is a vampire, so being unnaturally pale is a feature of vampires, but Blade is also part vampire in all other iterations, and he's still so dark-skinned in there. So what's going on? John Semper.
Nothing is going on.
So because Blade is a bit lighter skinned than Wesley Snipes, which can just be chalked up to an artistic decision more than anything, that must mean and this show is ran by a black guy, by the way. That means that the black guy who ran this show is a self-hating black guy, and he made Blade a lighter skinned black guy because he hates himself.
Well, was it the Moana live action remake where like no, I'm sorry, it was Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch, yeah.
Where like the person was a little bit too light skinned.
Too light skinned for Native Hawaiian, yeah.
They did that for Aladdin too.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, so you can't cast them because they're too like they're not even white passing, but they're just like slightly closer.
Slightly lighter, yeah.
Which is funny because like whenever Halle Berry, who looks pretty much like half and half, wins an award, it's like, oh, she's the first black whatever. It's like, well, okay, so whenever it's an accolade, it's okay to just only bring up the black part. But whenever it's like anything like casting wise, then it's like, oh, we gotta like really split hairs here.
Anyway, let's keep going here.
Who is not white. Prior to the first Blade film, Jamal had only appeared in one comic, Marvel Preview, issue 3. While he would be brought back in flashbacks and as a vampire in later books, like a couple issues years later, like after Blade Trinity, Jamal had only appeared in one issue, while Whistler appeared in 2 before the year 2000. Despite being a major film in the superhero landscape, Blade is guilty for whitewashing. It removed an entire character and replaced him with a white.
Okay.
Again, Ant being overly liberal with the definition of whitewash here.
This doesn't even work because it literally is not the same character. Like the Whistler is more inspired by like Van Helsing. He mentored.
He didn't
Blade.
even use that one. No.
Okay, so then all that matters is that he mentored. All that matters is that he mentored Blade.
Yes.
So how can that be whitewashing by his logic?
It just is. Believe him. All right, guys. What's the next section we're gonna look at here?
I think the whitewashing is still happening in 2026.
Whitewashing trans characters? What the fuck?
What?
I'm not even interested in that.
You know what, Ant? I'll agree with you on that one. Don't make any of the trans characters white.
Do you want to make... Well, I feel like a 3524 is no different from 5820, right?
I guess.
I mean, it's the same thing. The thing is, it feels a lot like filler.
Yeah.
No.
And the videos having filler, say it isn't.
Perish the thought.
Big accusation, Kino.
I'm kind of like curious to see what chat thinks. If we should just like watch any other section or just like finish it up.
What do you say, chat?
Yeah, give them a little bit so we can like because I am roboting and it is pretty late where I'm at, but we have done it for like 3 hours, but maybe we can close it up with the closing section. But let's see.
I think we haven't gone into enough detail. We should restart the video. Ant is very entertaining. I mean, he has like 100,000 subscribers, so
he's truly the Socrates of our modern times.
Socrates.
Kino's chat, give us a timestamp.
Yeah, give us a timestamp.
How long is the overall video? Like
an
hour.
It's an hour.
We're halfway through it. We're halfway through it now.
I could see skipping to 5820. If he's gonna make a redundant point, maybe he'll get to the point at the very end of the video.
Well, like 3524, it's also just 5 minutes, so we could just watch that section and then finish it off at 5820.
Yeah, that seems good. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Still whitewashing. But I know what you're thinking.
Someone says 49. Someone says 4904, and that another person is saying 5820.
Oh shit! All right, what are we gonna do? What do we want to do here, guys? We're at a 3-way tie. We need a tiebreaker now.
The Wheel of Neo.
All right.
I'd go with 3524.
Okay.
We need a tiebreaker, guys. Someone come up with a tiebreaker.
Fine, whitewashing trans characters. I just want to see what he has to say.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
God, Evan, you're supposed to pick the fucking one that like people have already. Oh, actually, you did. Okay, let's skip to 4904. This will be it.
Okay.
Quick creative and 7.
And of course, we get a fucking ad.
Well, let me tell you
Was
something,
that Kevin
brother.
Feige in that ad right there? I think I just saw his name.
I vote for myself to have a title shot. Well, I also vote for myself to have a title shot. Hey, yo, I want a title shot. We all voting for ourselves.
All right, here we go, guys.
Paige playing the ghost of Achilles.
Oh my God, he just censored Gary there saying Ellen with E.T. saying Elliot. My God. And quit being a little bitch.
No,
My
actually, I
God.
think that's a joke that they actually put in their own videos.
Oh, it is? Okay, never
Yeah, I think Little Platoon started that, and then Gary said they had fucking ET say it.
He's something that a lot of people thought was preposterous a few days ago has now become believable, and the memes have been glorious.
It is currently rumored at this time of writing that Elliot Page will play Achilles, the mythic hero of legend.
So
Let's ignore for a
they
second.
didn't end up playing Achilles, but you can tell that they tried, but they kind of just walked it back.
Yeah. Also, have you guys seen Ellen Page like working out? Like it's like Ellen Page is like, oh yeah, I just worked on the guns of the gym. Like you look horrible. Holy fuck.
It looks kind of sickly.
You look.
Was she like? Was she doing the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing where she's like, "Oh, I feel like I'm gonna come"? And
No, but she was just standing next to like her girlfriend or whatever, and she looked horrible. She looked like an AIDS patient. Just saw it, right? You just saw it. Yeah, it looks bad.
She's doing the Hulk Hogan poses backstage. She's like,
what you gonna do when Transmania runs wild on you, brother?
Achilles was successfully able to disguise himself as a woman to dodge the Trojan War for many years and was convincing as a woman, which implies he's not like a big hunky big guy. This is one of the few times a trans actor has been cast for a character who was originally cis, because usually the opposite happens.
Yeah.
A non-trans actor playing a trans person, usually badly, even if well-intentioned. Until really Orange is the New Black came out back in the 2010s and brought Laverne Cox into our living rooms, it was exceptionally
yeah, that's an ironic name. Laverne Cox. Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
I can't help but to feel that name is intentional.
Yeah, this is retarded for a couple reasons. It just sounds as though he's trying to gatekeep who can play what roles now. Specifically, like women or men can't play trans characters because you need to have.
Not very progressive of you, Ant.
You need to, because I guess it's just him holding gender dysphoria on a pedestal. It's obviously bullshit. Like I didn't like the last season of Squid Game, but there's a trans character played by a non-trans actor. Like I would say that was the best new character introduced into the season. Like it is possible. Like if a woman can play a man and a man can play a woman convincingly, then why can they not play trans character?
Well, like where does this end too? Like okay, so like your gender, and then what about sexual orientation?
Shit.
The oh my gosh, we're all gonna make
I am lagging right now. Hold on. All right, still waiting to get ready, but hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end the stream soon. Like I'm lagging really hard. But yeah, in case I end the stream abruptly, this is like a pretty poor video from Ant. He tried his best to not frame himself as a hypocrite when he is, like, because the bottom line, you can't say that you're against whitewashing, but also be uncritically for blackwashing. Like uh, y- it's still like immersion ruining. You just have like political motivations. You're benefit because you see it as benefiting one group over the detriment of another. Shouldn't be what art is. That shouldn't be an industry standard. I'm sorry. God damn it, I'm lagging. All right, guys. I'm not sure if you guys can still hear me, but like my I'm like my system is fucked up. Like I gotta my connection is really fucked. I gotta fix this. But fuck. Yeah, I hate it when this happens. I'll try to get it sorted out for future streams. Like I always say that, but man. I have a video on the Odyssey coming out soon, but let's see. Fuck. I think I'm gonna have to end the stream. Sorry, guys. But yeah, keep. Okay, hold on. All right, I'm gonna have to end the stream here, guys. Sorry. It's fucked up on my end. Can't really do anything about it. I'll try to get that out. I'll try to get that video out by this week, but can't make any promises. All right. Have a good one, guys.